You know, it's funny because I actually wasn't looking at chat. I was too busy updating my fantasy lineup because there's a game tonight and my quarterback is playing. So I thought, hey, probably should update my fantasy lineup. I lost last week by 3 points, and I'm a little bit mad about it. I can't lie. This is the guy that tried to trade Bo Nix. He wanted to give me Bo Nix for fucking Justin Herbert. That would have been a bad deal. Is your team dancing on Vigil AI? Yes. Derrick Henry specifically. Fuck that guy. I'll make him dance myself. I'll make him dance my fucking self. I will do it. She'd be an AI girlfriend? How many levels of, like, pathetic would I have to be on to even consider, I guess? Like, how low do I have to go before I'm like, you know what? It's a consideration. There's not a single person who has talked in the JBHL production chat, and I stayed up so late last night. I'm pissed. I'm gonna have to stream these games on myself. Dude, I got a fucking... I had Yuppie himself, Yuppie, the goddamn owner and manager of the Blocky Hockey Minecraft server, DM me an hour before a fucking BHL game, like, yo, can you stream the games? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I got nobody. And he's like, I'm like, oh my god. So I did it. I fucking streamed the games. It was awful. It was awful because, yes, as exactly like from HXH. And the thing that was fucking crazy is that in the very last game of the night, they went to the third period, and then it was discovered that one of the teams was over budget. As in, they signed too many players, and they weren't allowed to sign that many players. So instead of, like, giving them a penalty or, like, giving them a loss, they replayed the entire fucking game. And it went to overtime. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why the fuck am I here? So it was bad. Okay, so I'm just here to exist and play Red Ball and kind of just yap mindlessly about stuff because I'm just tired right now, bro. I am tired. New interview dropped, though. That's something that's happened recently, as in, like, yesterday. As in, somebody sent me an email, like, hey, you want an interview? And I'm like, yeah. So that dropped. It's going to be the exact same interview that I've gone through, like, 3 times already, because it's with the state. I hope you bomb it, bro. You know, I probably will. You know, that's the funny thing about it, MJ. I probably will. Because the state sucks. And they have... Oh my god. Who knows at this point? At least I feel a little bit more qualified for this position. It's in, like, political something or other. I forget the exact name of the position, but it's like something political. It had politic in the name, and so I'm like, okay, I gotta be qualified for this one, right? I don't gotta lie. I can just say, look at my degree. I'll do that. It's a Zoom interview. I'll go into the back, I'll pull up my fucking degree. Look at that. Look at my fucking degree. Now hire me. Please. Please. I'll do anything. I don't know. Please. What else do I got? Did I have anything else I wanted to complain about? Oh shit, I felt like I had something. Oh yeah, no, it's about esports stuff. You guys don't care. No, it was just like some EU team beat my favorite NA team, and I was pissed. And it was like, it wasn't even a good loss. It was like both teams were like trying actively to throw as hard as fucking possible. And I had to sit there and watch it as my NA team decided to throw harder. And now all the stupid Europeans are talking shit, and I want to cry. Because I hate when stupid Europeans talk shit. I hate giving them anything. They've won. It's fucking painful. And now I'm about to watch the other NA team in this tournament bomb out because they're playing like the best team in the tournament right now. I know they're gonna get absolutely fucking washed. It's gonna be diabolical, bro. They're gonna, you know what? The thing is though, they will get washed out, but they're gonna run it the down and it's gonna be sick. So honestly, I respect them running it down. That's the only thing. I do respect them running it down. Because sometimes it works and it's the sickest thing ever. They only win games in sick ways. That's the only way they can do it. Every game that they lose, they are blown out like 23-5 in kills. And then they just lose in 25 minutes. It's crazy. And then in every other game, it's like a fucking nail-biting instant classic where they're fighting all the time and every team has 30 kills on the board. I'm like, hell yeah. This is some real big dig gaming right here. I love to see it. So I got love and I got respect. And there's also a third NA team, but like they're from Brazil and they're gonna get super washed. So it's not really even worth talking about. But hey, you know, they exist. Shout out to them. I hope they lock in and at least are able to be competitive. I doubt it, but hey, you know, all we can have is hope. All we can have is hope. What else do I got? My dad sent me a pizza in the mail. That's not a joke, by the way. He sent me a pizza in the mail. My dad is going through a weird phase in life, and by a weird phase in life, I mean death. As in, he knows that he's going, and so he's just kind of doing like a whole bunch of like weird shit that he would never do. Or at least this is how I'm interpreting it. He's just doing a bunch of shit. Just because he knows that he can, and he knows it don't matter anymore. And he has the money to do it. And I think those are like the three combinations of things that really make a man become like an animal in many ways. Where he is simply like, he's just like, he is chasing after like this instant gratitude pleasure in life right now. And I'm like, this is sick. Not only because I'm happy for him, because he seems like he's making the most out of a bad situation, but also because in his general idea of like having a good time is like giving shit to people and like paying for stuff and just doing stuff. And he likes doing his stuff with other people. He likes other people involved with this stuff. So he text messages me like a week back. He's like, yo, I'm going back home, or I went back home and I had some pizza from my childhood. My favorite pizza when I was a kid growing up. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And he was like, I know you're really into pizza. I'm like, yeah, I am. And he's like, yo, this chain delivers pizza like nationwide. It's like they'll give you like a half-baked pizza and then they'll deliver it to anywhere in the nation. I'm gonna get you some. I'm like, you really don't have to do that. And he's like, no, I'm gonna get you some pizza. And so what comes knocking on my door yesterday but a man with fucking a box of pizza. And I put some in the oven and it was good pizza, man. It was like the craziest thing ever. Dude, there was so much of it. There's still a lot of it. There is still a lot of pizza left. He ordered me a hefty fucking size of pizza. I'll actually pull it out and show you. Because I have it. It's just sitting in my fridge waiting for me to bake it. And then I'm probably going to freeze another part of it because I can't eat all of it. It's that big. You know me as the pizza fiend. I can't eat all that pizza. That's a lot of pizza. Oh, I'll show you. This is like, again, this is just like dad things in like. Hey, hold on. Okay. It's from a place, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's like Botch Club or Boch Club or something like that. And this is the box it came in. As you can tell, not a very pizza-sized box. But if we open it up, it was cut up in half. That's a quarter of the pizza, by the way. That is a quarter. A small fraction of this fucking massive pie. It's half baked. You throw it in the oven for like 5 minutes. It comes out perfect. So, yeah, that came in the mail. I don't know how much it cost. It must have been at least $30, if not more. Probably closer to like 40. But I'm like, okay, I have this. It was like fun. I looked up this place online, and apparently they have a location in like Buffalo. I'm like, Buffalo's in the Bills? And I think it was that. Let me look it up. They actually have multiple locations. Apparently this is my father's childhood pizza, which is crazy to me. It's in, yeah, Buffalo, New York. I don't know if that's Buffalo is in the Bills or Buffalo is in like something else is called the Bills, but it's like, yeah, that's crazy. Since 1946. This place is open in 100 years of being open. That's crazy. So yeah. I have that. Dude, it was good pizza. It was genuinely, it was like, how do I describe this pizza without being disrespectful? It was like a very elevated, like you know, a lunchroom pizza where it's kind of like, it's cooked in a pan. It's kind of like, and it cooked in a shallow pan. It's very much like lunchroom. It's giving like middle school lunchroom pizza, but like elevated to the highest extent. Because the cheese is so good. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe the cheese on the pizza. It's so like rich and milky. I hate describing cheese as milk. I hate describing anything as milky. But it is just so like rich. It's such rich cheese. I'm like, oh my god, it's such a cheese forward pizza. But it's balanced too because the sauce is sweet. And so I'm like, okay, this kind of bangs, respectfully. And the pepperoni's decent. It's fun pepperoni. It's not too oily pepperoni. Sometimes pepperoni can get really oily, especially when it's like dog shittier pepperoni. When it's worse quality pepperoni, I think it tends to get a little bit more oily. And I like pepperoni on pizza that is a little bit less oily. I think oily pepperoni is probably best for like just eating raw, but oily pepperoni on pizza, sometimes it's just too much oil. I'm not mad at grease, but sometimes it gets a little bit greasy even for your boy over here. So yeah, that's what I have in my fridge. What else do I have in my fridge? Love? Not really. Love is kind of lacking in the fridge. I was trying to find some, but it just didn't show up. Yes, Avery Doors got benched. Bless. Avery Doors, I love you, bro. Oh my god. Avery Doors, I wish you could understand how much I love you for being a person who actually streams this. If you understand. You are my muse. You're my life. My sleep schedule is saved because of you. I won't have to wake up and feel like moderately moderately sad about everything. There's something about living like shit and being like shit and being shit that makes me feel like shit, believe it or not. Something about living a life that is equivalent to that of shit makes me feel bad for some reason. I don't know. It's crazy how that works. I'm lying, of course. But, you know, not having enough sleep does definitely weigh on you, especially when you have no caffeine in the house. Well, I have caffeine. It's just like not like caffeine. It's like soda. When you don't have caffeine in the house, like coffee. Because I have figured out that if you want to be... the best way to live is to just not... I understand why some people drink coffee. Because if you're trying to lose weight, and you can't eat a lot of food, and you need energy and usually food will give you that energy, and you can't have that food because it's calories, I understand why you pull out the caffeine. I get it. I think that if you are reaching that point, I think you better have a good-ass reason to do it. It reminds me of my old director. She was great. She was genuinely like I wouldn't call her a friend, but like as somebody who like I worked with, I had a tremendous amount of respect for her as a person. I think she liked me too, as in not like, but as in like she also respected me as an associate, as somebody who's like competent at my job, and so I appreciate her for that because it felt like one of the few people, maybe not one of the few people, but one of the people I feel like I got to have a bit of a closer connection with on like a very professional level, and I appreciated that a lot, like personally, professionally. Like we were just, it was fun. I liked her a lot, and I remember she would tell me about. This is also the same girl. I would talk about her and her diet, and I was like, her diet was crazy because she's a small woman, and so she was eating like, she was like showing me her like calorie chart because it was like 800, 900 calories a day. I'm like, fucking 900 calories a day, a fucking day. I could eat 900 calories in 20 minutes. Are you kidding? Small deficit. It was, I mean, I saw it too because like she's really small. she was really like she was pushing like 410. Like 900 calories is fucking diabolical levels, and she was just telling me about it. And she would drink coffee, and I was like, you know what, I understand you. And the reason why she was doing it, and it was actually a good reason, is because she was doing a wedding soon. She was having a wedding with her fiance, who I also met. He's a big fan of Black Ops 3 Zombies, and me and him connected over that, so shout out to him. Also, I went to a party with him, and he did nothing, and he didn't talk to a single person, but play catch with a football outside for like an hour until they left. And I was like, this guy is crazy. She was actually telling me about this. It was so funny. Oh dude, this party was so hilarious. So like she was also moderately interested in like my dating life, because it's like it's something that you do as a coworker. You're like, I wonder who my fucking coworker's dating, because like we're close, you know, we were friendly there, so we were, you know, they would be like, I wonder who Sheep can, you know, get with, right? And so going to the party, apparently I was supposed to be the bachelor, you know, hitting up all the single ladies. I did not. And I later learned afterwards, after I talked to people about that party, all the people that I was like, I could see myself with this woman, apparently they were all bad options and no good, not good for you. So apparently it was a great thing that I didn't shoot my shot with anybody, because it would have been a bad idea. Because one of the other, so, oh man, there was like so much, it was like my taste into like just classic workplace drama. Because one of my, it wasn't a director, so it was a work party, right? And so it was a bunch of people from work, and then a bunch of people that the person who was hosting the party knew. And the person who was hosting the party he wasn't a director. This was the Survivor party, by the way. I told you guys about this like back in July, I think. This was like a July thing. And so it would be like, I forget what the other word. It's like not a director. It's not a manager. It's a producer. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word. So it was one of our producers that was hosting this party. And so there were two women at the party that I, A, knew were single, and B, I thought were, you know, attractive. And so apparently what I learned afterwards is that one of them was a producer that was having a relationship, a complicated relationship with another producer where they're fuck buddies, but they're not dating. And also, it's probably not cool under, like, workplace guidelines to be doing that as well for reasons. So there were a lot of, like, funny things about it. It was also, like, very under wraps. It was, like, I think they were trying to keep it generally private, although, you know, You know how private things go in places like this. And then the other girl I was crushing on was she was filled with tattoos and piercings, covered in tattoos and piercings. And apparently, I didn't really learn a lot about her, but apparently she is not good for you. She is not built for somebody like you, is what I was told. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take your word for it. Honestly, I can see it. She's apparently a bit insane sometimes. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna... Maybe it was good that I didn't shoot it. Okay, but back on topic. So, back on topic. So this director that I'm talking about, the short director with the 900 calorie diet, she brought not only her fiance but also one of her fiance's friends. And apparently the reason that she brought him, or later she told me that the reason that she had brought this man is because he was also single, and she was like, oh, I want this guy to mingle inside of this party full of, singles. That guy was the guy that her fiance was playing catch with. He didn't talk to a single fucking person. I am not a very social person, but I talked to way more people than he did. I actually tried. Every time I go to a party, I give it a God's good effort, all right? I do a pretty good job of, trying to talk to people, hey, what's going on? I try to be friendly. He did not talk to a single person, and he left. I'm like, bro, the point of you going to this party is to talk to people. This is crazy. So yeah, that was a funny story. And then also, she was a fan of, really sweet coffee drinks. I'm like, you know how many calories are in that? And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, you have that? Are you okay? It's ridiculous. I'm like, these sweet drinks, bro, those calories count up fast, brother. Those drink calories are no joke. If I ever had to do a challenge where it was eat as many calories as you can, because I've seen the YouTubers do 10,000 calories in a day challenge. If I ever had to do that, I would just rip a bunch of drinks. I think that'd be the best. Just sip on really sweet shit all day long, because those things will pile on the fucking calories like nobody's business, bro. I'd eat chocolate. That's a good idea. That's a good option. Do you think are you more of a milk chocolate guy or a dark chocolate guy? I guess there's different levels to chocolate. Milk? I can respect that. Some people don't respect that. I do respect it. I'm more of a dark chocolate guy. As I've grown up, I've become more and more of a dark chocolate guy, because when I was a kid, in America chocolate is ass. Well, that's because you're yeah, okay, this is you're, of course, if you look at all the basic bitch brands, of course it's gonna be ass. Yeah, okay. If you go to oh, Hershey's is all America has, bro. Have you I have had some of the best chocolate in my life in America, and that's not because I've lived in America. I've gone on trips like France and shit. Dude, there are some chocolatiers in America that are fucking amazing, bro. Let me tell you actually about one of the stories about the best chocolate I ever had. So it was me and my family, and we had driven down, we were in the Bay, and we drove down to San Diego, which was an hour down the road. It was a really shitty road because it was a highway, but it was a small highway, and it was super swervy because it was mountains, because every time you go west in the United States, shit becomes super mountainous. And so we had to drive through the mountains, and this highway, it gave me road sickness because it was so swervy and fast. It sucked. I hated that highway. But we made it to San Diego, and we went there for a reason. I totally forgot what the reason is. Maybe it was just to go to the beach, or maybe we wanted to go to some museum. It was a whole family thing. And so we stopped there, and we went to dinner at this place called Burger. That was the entire restaurant name. It was called Burger. And it had really, really good burgers. Ironically enough, the place called Burger was it was phenomenal. I was man, this is some really good burgers. I think I didn't get a burger there. I think I got a pizza, a fucking bum. I did not get a burger at the place called Burger, if I'm being entirely honest. But the burgers were really good. Fuck, I know. It was actually a fucking thing to do. And as a man now, I would never stand for that. How do you know? Because we shared food. We were like, like, here, take a bite of this, take a bite of it. Because dude, there are 6 people in my entire family. Whenever we're going on family trips, like, we're getting 6 meals at a single place. So, you know, everybody's like, oh, you know, if something looks interesting on somebody else's plate, you know, we're kind of friendly. Some of you people hate your families. I don't, all right? It was all hunky-dory on the family trips, man. We were all, you know, it was all friendly, all right? I don't hate any of my family members. I love them all. I don't have any hatred in my heart towards any of them. Okay, so after burger, some people were fiending for sweets. They were fiending for sweets. I was one of them. And so we were just walking around, looking around. And so, of course, I was like, you know, ice cream? But I was kind of like just looking around, like, I wonder what kind of sweet shit. And we passed by this place. It's like this tiny little hole in the wall. Had this tiny sign that says chocolates. I'm like, chocolates? It's like some artisan chocolate maker? And my family was like, oh, let's check it out. So we walk into this place. And it's like this tiny little... It looks like a half-made restaurant. It looks like a restaurant that hasn't been, like, finished yet. And it was manned by one woman. With just like racks of like baking equipment and like cooking stuff behind her, and she had a whole glass display of like chocolates. And I was like, oh. And she was like, oh my god, customer. She looked super happy to have people inside of her shop. And you know, they were like they were expensive. These were not cheap chocolates, but I'm like, yeah, these are pricey. And so we all got a chocolate. And dude, I forgot exactly what I got, but all I remember is that it was so fucking good, dude. I remember having that. I'm like, yo, this was no like C's candy chocolate. This was no like Hershey's. This was this was unbelievable. I was like, man, this is some good ass chocolate. And I think that's what you have to think about whenever you're in America, because America has pretty loose laws on like what you're allowed to do, you know, business wise, like setting up businesses and like making stuff like and selling stuff. Like there is like a lot of freedom in America, especially like around like brewing laws and stuff like that. So when you look at America and you see all these big national brands and you have that idea of this is what America is, then you're not seeing exactly like you're not seeing everything that America is, because with food in America there is so much like local small business product, because like our laws are lax enough that it allows so many like local small businesses to pop up all the time, and they serve the craziest shit. Like the beer in America is fucking amazing, and that's not because Bud Light it tastes like goddamn, you know, Nirvana water. It's because there's like the local brewery two stops down that serves amazing stuff. They're brewing up the craziest beer you ever had, and you'll never hear about it ever, because it's like you'll only see it if you're like two hours north of like Highway 85. So that is why America to me is like one of the great, like I want to say the greatest, but I will, you know what, I will say the greatest. Fuck it, we nationalist here. One of the greatest food place in the world, because of the amount of like local stuff you can find everywhere, and it's like everything. It is not just like you know, traditional Americana foods. It is food from all cultures. Everybody don't have that with me. No, but we have more variety because we're bigger. That's the best part about America. We are a massive fuck off country. Okay? So we can have crazy variety. We are one of the biggest first world countries in the world. Which means that we just have like crazy shit everywhere. I've gone to every place and I've found crazy shit in all the places I've traveled to in America. That's why I love America. Some things aren't great. Some things aren't perfect. Variety and quality. I don't know if you have more variety. I think we have more variety and more quality. Quality is probably debatable. Quality is probably equal, I'd imagine. Quality, honestly, it doesn't like with like global shipping being a thing these days. Like if you really want a super high quality product, like you can get a high quality product anywhere. You can get authentic like anything food in like almost every country. It's very hard to not find authentic blank food in like whatever country. Although I will say like authentic is kind of a nebulous term. I think I've started to fall off of the word authentic as I've started to just, I don't know, exist more in the world. Like, I think authentic is just bullshit. Like, just make shit, like take the ideas from other cultures and just make them with whatever ingredients you have, right? Oh, you don't have tomatillos? Fuck it. Sub it out with a goddamn tomato or something. I don't know, a green apple. Fuck it. Right? It's like just regional, like whatever you have in your local grocery store. Just like do whatever, and then just take the ideas of whatever culture and just do whatever you want with them. Food is like malleable like that. Like, why not? South Africa. Well, we have America, but I'd imagine you probably have really good South African food because you have, all your ingredients are like locally grown, so it's like pretty authentic. A lot of slaves from different places. Exactly. Slaves have had a lot of culture. Shout out to slaves. Shout out to, I will say that. Shout out to slaves that are now freed. Shout out to that. But shout out to slaves. They had a lot of fucking culture. A lot of like the really good things in America came from that, But yeah, I'm sure like if I could find some place in America that has like South African cuisine, that probably tastes pretty damn good, I'd imagine. But I could also probably find a restaurant in here that probably has like South African ideas or South African techniques with like more Americanized ingredients that's probably built for a more American palate. And it's probably fire as well. It's like, the very classic example is like Tex-Mex, where it's like, Tex-Mex is just like Mexican ideas of food, but with a very like with more meat and more cheese and more like American ideas of, flavors and stuff. And it's fire. It's not authentic. Fuck if it's authentic. Who cares? Like, if you even like I remember like sometimes I'll have like a little thing about a specific food or a specific thing, and I went down a little TikTok rabbit hole of like barbecue. And I remember just like looking at all these barbecue restaurants that were just showing off their shit. It was like the craziest mix of stuff. It was like, this is traditional American barbecue. Well, this is American barbecue with like Korean flavors. Well, this is with like Haitian flavors. This is with like it was like all the craziest combinations of what American barbecue be. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Higher quality ingredients. See, I think this is half rage bait from Roses. Whenever it gets on like food or like nationalism stuff, I think it's half rage bait, but I'm sure that you have great food. But also, we are both arguing like in things that we are both arguing points that we cannot substantiate at all. I've got better food. No, I don't. I have better food. We say from like halfway across the world from each other. Like, what? Neither of us can win this argument. We are perpetually stuck. I love America. I love this country. I do. I do love this country. And I think you should love your country. Unless your country sucks. And my country sucks, but I still love it anyway. And so even if your country sucks, if it has some amount of redeemable qualities, you should love your country. That's what I think. I think if everybody's just a little bit nationalistic, I think it makes the world a better place. Mostly because sports are funner. But not like too nationalistic, where you start hating other people. I think that's when you start like pumping the brakes on shit. I hate China, but for other reasons as opposed to them being a rival to the United States. I don't hate them for being a rival to the United States. I hate them for putting people in fucking concentration camps. And also being really like economically like nasty. I don't like China for a lot of reasons, but yeah. Look, I am not a hater like you are haters, okay? I've recontextualized my hate. I hate when it's fun and it's not. I hate when it's not that serious. I don't want my hate to be that serious, because when you hate and it's that serious, that sucks. It's not fun. Don't hate and actually hate. Hate because it's fun. Hate because you're having a good ass time. Stop trying to be elitist. I'm not. What do you mean? I can be elitist about plenty of things. I don't think I have to try. Of all the things that I try to do, I don't think being elitist is something I try to do. It comes naturally, or it comes with the fucking territory, okay? It comes with the rich white boy territory, okay? I grew up in, like, the richest area of, like, the fucking country. I grew up in, like, one of the richest areas of, like, the richest country in the world. And we were doing well economically, okay? I don't have to act elitist. It's in the fucking bloodstream, my brother. It's actually not it's not in the blood, it's in the, I am the first of, at least my father's generation. Maybe probably my mother's, too. To be well off. That's really crazy to think about. Because, like, my dad came from bumfucking nowhere, and I go back in my family. I guess my mother's lineage was kind of like, because back then, like, they owned, like, a whole ass farm. They owned cars back in, like, the 1800s or something. It was, like, crazy. When was the first car invented? I have no idea. But, like, back in the day, back in the 1900s, they owned, like, cars and stuff. They were doing pretty well off. Well, they immigrated over from, I think it was Germany. It was, like, German immigrants. I have a really crazy essay about pictures that I collected from my mother's side of my family. I have a tintype of my latest, like, the first picture of my grandparents that I could ever find. It was either German or oh my god, I could look at, I talked to a bunch of people to do this essay. I probably still have the essay too. If I go to my school folder, I can't show you because I don't want to, like, expose my family or something. These are, like, this was in my art class. Was it in my senior fall? Was it? No. Was it junior? It was probably junior year. Oh yeah, here it is. This is the midterm. No. Here's the final project. A family history. Word count almost 2,000 words. I think specifically it had to be under 2,000 words. I finished this essay on the 1st of May 2023. Funny. Yeah, the very first. Yeah, okay, they were from Germany. Yeah. They immigrated from Germany and settled in Wisconsin. That's crazy. They were working class. That's why they immigrated. That's why most people immigrated to America back in the day. In the 19th century, that's why most people immigrated, because they were fucking broke as hell. And America was the land of opportunity back then, you know? It lived up to the name because it was like a ton of land. It was like America was like a ridiculous amount of land compared to, like, Europe at that time. And so yeah, if you were poor, you'd go over there, and you'd go over to America, you'd spend like 3 months like wanting to kill yourself on a boat, and then you'd make it to America, and then you'd have, like, all you had to do is, like, I don't know, walk. I don't know how they divided up land back then. You'd walk into a new place of land, you put a flag in it and said mine, and then you owned it. And so you had a bunch of land, and then you'd farm, and then if you were good at farming and you were lucky with weather, then you'd sell a lot of food, and then yeah, that's kind of how it went. And my family was pretty successful at that, and so it used to be a farming family until my great grandma that went to the city to go to college, and then past that it was like, you know, it was all over the place. But yeah, so family history is unironically kind of interesting once you, like, get into it a little bit. If you do, like, a decent amount of research, like, family history can be pretty fun sometimes. If you were whiter. I'm trying to think of anything else I have to talk about. Normally it just comes to me in, like, fucking dreams. Although the dream that I had, what dream did I have? Oh man, I had some dream. It was like a fucked up dream. I hated it. I'm having less bad dreams, more like dreams where I'm like, people are showing up in my dreams that I don't want to be in my dreams. Just like people like that I've talked to on Discord are showing up in my dreams. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't want the people who exist in my online life. I don't want them to be in my dreams. It's not nice. That's not good. Makes me sound like more of a broke bitch. Makes me sound like more of a bum than I already am. Oh, what are you dreaming about your Discord e-kitten? Like, no, I'm not. No, stop. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Except the actual answer is yuh-uh. Because every time you say nuh-uh, the actual answer is yuh-uh. And I hate that. I don't want the answer to be yuh-uh, but here we are. Pop, pop. Scrum. Pop, pop, pop. Oh shit. Well, I hate this level anyway. I'm not gonna practice level 8. Fuck level 8. It's not because I hate level 8. I do hate level 8 a little bit. But I feel like I've got more hatred for other levels in my heart and my soul. Level 9 I do got hatred for, because somehow every single time I make it to it on an actual pace, I manage to fuck it up somehow. Every single time, without fail. Very annoying. It's not even like at the hard part I fuck it up. Like, if I fucked it up at this part, then I'd understand it. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I get it. But I fucked it up on this part. Like, not even like at the frame perfect. If I fucked it up at the frame perfect, it'd be like, okay, I gotcha. But like, no. I can't fuck it up in a respectable way, you know? And that sucks. You see, right there, that's an understandable loss. That's like a, okay. You know, happens to the best of us. Well, that was an awful stop. If I was wider. Could I be wider? I don't know. Well, race is socially constructed at the end of the day, so technically I could be wider if I was like albino, but I feel like at that point you kind of start to, you know, transcend racial classification if you're an albino individual. Also, that probably being albino comes with like a bunch of like nasty side effects that... If I looked up albino person on TikTok, there's no way their life expectancy is like average. They gotta be dying early. There's just no way. Like, you have no pigment in your skin? That's gotta come with some... Like being, like, basically having to be a vampire aside, like, that's gotta come with some nasty side effects. Hey, I made it. Albino life expectancy. It doesn't affect life expectancy. Are you kidding? Well, that's what the AI says. Let's look at medicineplus.gov. Melanin is the natural substance. Okay, causes. So you get like a fucked up gene. It could be inherited. Interesting. People with this type of albinism, the most severe type of albinism is called acutionitis albinism. That's a big word. I cannot pronounce that. Oculocuneus. Oculocuneus albinism. Man, that's a big old word. People with this type of albinism can have white or pink hair, skin, and iris color. They also have vision problems. Yeah, okay, vision problems. Melanin, that makes sense. Another type of albinism only affects the eyes. Functional blindness or vision. Okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense. Your eyes would definitely be fucked up. I only return to doubles OU because one man can only take so much reg H variance. That's understandable. What are your thoughts on the new mega forms, Mures? I know that people have been talking about Mega Starmie. Like it's either hell or heaven. Let me look up. I want to look up albino on TikTok just to see what fucking happens. There's got to be at least one albino creator that's just talking about like being fucking white as shit. Oh, wow. Yep. Wowee. That is amazing hair. I don't know if that's a wig or not. That's fucking amazing, bro. Just like a straight white long hair. That's sick. It's like an anime character. That's a funny joke. Nutella, what's up? Oh man. Sturb keeps DMing me, asking me to map out the maze. I'm like, what do you mean map out the maze? It's the walls are gonna change. No, why the fuck would I do that? Why the fuck would I spend my time making a route to wherever the place we're supposed to go is if the walls are gonna change? Why would you ask me this? PvP's gonna open up. I wonder if that's gonna cause anything. Any major melodies? When it changes? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I assume it only changes for like the weekend, yeah? Mark dead ends? Yeah, that is... Marking dead ends is probably like a really good idea. It can be really hard. They did a really good job with the maze layout. This is easily the best like Maze Runner-esque like... The best Maze Runner-esque thing I've ever seen, I think. I almost wish... Man, I wish Minecraft... Sometimes I wish like Zero's world map didn't work. Or wasn't like, couldn't be a thing. Because I think like making the maze like smaller... Well, it didn't change from day 1 to day 2, but I guess we didn't go into the maze day 1 and they didn't really expect it. Reasons. But, man, if there was no like world map, I wonder how interesting it would be. You just never watch Maze Runner? Don't. First of all, people always talk about the movie. That's so crazy. Dude, I grew up with the Maze Runner books. Like when they came out, I was a young adult. I was like 12, 13. Like that was perfect age range. I read the Maze Runner books. Let's not talk about the movie. The movie like came way after. And the movie was like it was fine. They did a pretty good job with the actual maze part, which I do respect. But I read the books like way before. It was one of my first like because like as a young adult you get into the what do you call it? Young adult dystopian novels. Is that what it's called? Where you have a bunch of like teenagers who act like fully grown adults and like try to save the world and often succeed in doing so. As I grow older and older, I start to realize how like patently absurd like the concept of those. Like, yeah, man, this 15-year-old chick is gonna save the world. I'm like, are we kidding? Are we kidding? This shit is not happening. But yeah, maze. The actual I think the thing that's always fascinating about the maze took a long time. Well, yeah, they would have to make the maze way smaller. Because the moment that you don't have world map, it becomes so much harder. Like the moment you don't have a top-down view of a maze, it becomes so much harder to solve or a maze. Like it was exponentially more difficult to solve a maze. I think what they would also have to do, I think the one thing that I've actually thought about this. The one thing that's really kind of like ticked me off about this event a little bit, I get why they have to do it, but it's still annoying, is that some locations are like locked by time. I think it's annoying that I have to go into the maze and I have to go to a specific location. I can't go anywhere I want to. I have to go to a place. That sucks. I can only go to one place every day. That's really annoying for me. Right? I think like it would be way cooler if it was just like, you know, no world map. You just be wandering around. It makes sense. I know why they have to do it, because they don't want like a bunch of like random people to show up all in the same place at the same time, and then there's like a whole bunch of like confusion. Like I totally get why they do that. I totally get why they do that. I totally get it. I totally get it. But it's still frustrating. It's still annoying. I think putting everybody in one glade would have been probably bad, because then that would be like legislating groups. The reason why we're separated into different glades so it is so then they have a reason to legislate like groups, right? You're not going to put like people of like two groups together. That's just not how these events go. That wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense in the context of the story. Look, all I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to get at is I think that this event is pretty sick for the most part. I think it does a pretty good job at doing the things that they want it to do. I think they do need to work on some stuff. Like the entire left side of our maze being entirely blocked off. Probably not a good thing. They probably should have thought about their maze layout a little bit better. Because if you can only go one direction, it kind of becomes like very much like this, becomes a little bit lame if you can only go one direction. But, you know, hopefully they will address that with the maze changes and all that stuff. And overall, I don't know. I have a very limited view of this event because I am in Hades, and Hades is apparently like this hyper-organized, really put-together glade as compared to everybody else, which makes sense to me. Hades, for as much as I kind of dunked on it a little bit earlier in the event, because it was a bunch of, like, you know, to be fair, Hades was a bunch of, like, kind of nobodies, respectfully, at least in my purview. Whenever I looked at, like, the Hades membership, I'm like, I know none of these people. But that was also fun because I got to meet a bunch of new people, and it turned out to be really sick. So now I met a bunch of new people, and a lot of them happened to be sick. And apparently all the other glades that I wanted to be a part of were a fucking dumpster fire disaster. So, hey, even better. I know you slightly. Well, yeah, I saw your name on the list. I'm like, hey, I recognize that name. There's, like, different levels of knowing people. Like, have I talked to that person? Have I been with that person in, like, some kind of, like, you know, deeper manner? Have I worked with that person in a more, you know, in a closer manner in one of these events? Or do I just recognize that person from having played in enough events and I've seen the name enough times to recognize it? And that's kind of where you fell for me. It was like, oh, I've seen this person before. I've probably spoken to them once or twice. So I am slightly aware of your presence. To have locations available since if everybody was, I don't know. I think it's just annoying. The fact is annoying that I can run into another, like, there is a potential world where I go out into the maze and I run into a place, but I am blocked by entering it. I am blocked, like, unexplainably by the rules of the event. I can't go into this place, even though I found it. I wandered through this maze and I mapped it all out and I found this place and I can't go to it. You're not allowed to go there because, you know, rules. That's kind of annoying. I think that's a justifiable annoyance, but it's also an understandable, you know, limitation. Minecraft events that try to go Minecraft events that are this complicated, definitely, you know, they have to play by different rules, and I respect that. I respect it. Oh, come on. I need to hold my W a little bit harder after that second jump. I don't know if that's the frame perfect. I think it might be. That should be good. See, look at that. It's beautiful. It's actually, like, kind of perfect. Sheesh. Well, at least I'm good at level 9. I'd hope I can be equally as good at level 10, but level 10 is slightly more annoying. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I am not aware of any, like, major drama in the Hades Glade as of now. Well, there's one piece of drama I'm aware of, but I don't know if I'm allowed to speak on that. I don't know if I'm allowed to speak on the current drama that's going on. But it's, like, it's very small in the grand scheme of things. I wouldn't know. Yeah, it's definitely, Nutella Rain, I have a habit of finding myself in places that I become, like, more of a important figure, or at least a known figure in these events somehow. Maybe not somehow. I always try to aim for that, but off stream, I can tell you about it off stream, because I trust you. It's nothing that deep. Of all the, like, the dramas that I've seen in these events, this is, like, the least deep drama of all time. It's not even, like drama, it's, like, you know, just a little bit of in-role play stuff. The entire event about Sky Farm. I see your Sky Farm on my goddamn minimap. It's like a flashbang. Every time I look at our glade, it's like, oh, Everything looks so like uniform and nice and colorless, and then I see your fucking bright ass farm on my fucking menu map. I'm like, damn, Nutella's going crazy on that hoe. He's just crazy. How much food could you possibly need? You should really optimize for better food sources. When are we gonna get? I need more ranchers. Okay, I'm chilling on bread right now. I need steak, bro. Steak is like the primo currency. You're gonna make it 4,000 blocks? That's why our glade looks like shit, because you fuckers are hoarding all the dirt. Jesus. I've seen it. I see it now. You fuckers are hoarding all the goddamn dirt, okay? You rats? Bunch of rats? Bro, dude, I came back from that maze. I went through death and hell. Alright? I come back to this fuck-ass glade that's just stone. Like, has nobody thought about, like, does nobody in these Minecraft events, like, when you're a builder in these Minecraft events, do you not think about, like, the other stuff besides your big build? Like, what about the stuff that's around your big build? Like, roads, or pathways, or making your general location look scenic. Replace it with hay bales? Dude, just, like, I get, like, you can't replace it with dirt and stuff. I get that, but, like, maybe like blocks with like moss carpets on top. I don't know what you guys are using moss for, but like maybe like some moss carpet. That'd be cool. Maybe like even some like artistic path where it's like you've got, you know, maybe you've got like bridges over the stone and you make it like kind of a rugged maze, but you've got like no pathways is crazy to me. Like you gotta have pathways in your village. How are you going to have a village with no pathways? What are we thinking? To place... That's where... So you are... Dude, you're the biggest rat... You're the biggest rat of all time. You're taking all the dirt, all the moss. You are crazy. Nutella Rain is actually on fucking demon mode right now. Actually, a vicious member of this glade, taking all the dirt. I gotta go into other glades and steal their dirt. That's actually my next thing. I'm gonna go to the glade and I'm gonna steal their dirt. I'm gonna walk into the glade. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up? I'm here for your dirt. I'm gonna take all their dirt. That's why we're gonna go to war, so that we can have more dirt for decoration blocks. And you fuckers aren't gonna steal it and put it in the sky. No, I will not let you take my dirt and put it in the damn sky. If you ask for more dirt and somebody sends me out into no man's land to collect your dirt for you, like I already did, I'm not letting you take the damn dirt and make more goddamn sky. We don't need more sky farm. You cast a shadow upon our shadowy glade, okay? To be fair, I guess it is kind of on theme to be like in the underworld. You must cover up this. I mean, it is kind of on theme, so I guess I can't totally blame you. But still, it's it's enough slices, okay? Goddamn. I mean, I just used the public farm down below. I think that's a pretty... Are you gonna, like, try to, like, socialize the public farm and steal their dirt? Airdrop? That's so funny. I just see, like, bread falling on me. Like, what's going on? Oh, the people at the Sky Farm must be having a good time. Runners are pretty chill. The maze was a disaster zone. A lot of people died, but for the most part, I survived. I lived the whole night in the maze. I survived 20-minute nights in the maze. Because if you are smart enough, you can make it. It actually does take a little bit of skill, though. You have to kite those grievers pretty good. Shout out to my my homeboy that actually saved my fucking life. Myklanos, I think is what it's called. Myklanos? Whatever the hell he's called. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. But yeah, he saved my ass. Like, dead ass. He saved my ass. I was on 1 heart, and he was like, oh, I'll tank it. He started tanking, because I had iron, he had diamond. And so he tanked grievers for me. Saved my life. If I had steak, it might not have happened. That passed. Well, I got full diamond now, so I'm chilling. And also, apparently, like, enchantments are going to become way more, like, available, so I'm also unconcerned, because I should... Like, if I do fight the boss, which I assume I will next sesh, Monkey no Monkey Coast. Well, if I end up fighting the boss, I imagine I'll get some schloot. I'll get schlooted and I'll get zooted and looted, I imagine. Get sharpness, get prot, get all that good stuff. As long as you don't get hit by the fire attack, you're chilling. The Grievers can't do anything to you. But I also have Maze Runner hat, so I also get like random speed boosts that really help. You need the speed runner boost. If I didn't have the speed boost, like randomly, I think I would have died. You need the speed boost. It is such a necessary thing to have if you're going to survive the maze. Especially at night. Ogre Pond? Which Ogre Pond? Is it the... I assume it's like the water one. That's usually the one that I've seen being good. Or the grass one. I don't know if there is a grass one. Oh, the fire one. My bad. It's like water, fire, ground? I don't know what all the Ogre Ponds are. In the maze at one point. They, like I said, they did a really good job with like the maze. In general, they did a really good job with like making the maze feel like a maze. It wasn't like a bitch made maze at all. It was like a very real maze. They did a really good job. Exploring the maze felt difficult. This is not an easy maze, and I respect the hell out of that. It's not. I mean, to be fair, if they're gonna give us like world world map, I think you have to make the maze hard, or else the maze kind of just ends up becoming lame by default. I got lost. Oh yeah, if you did not like, you cannot make the maze that hard and not have world map. Like making a maze that big and that hard with no world map is like dead ass. Like you cannot do that. It is unironic. Like you just can't do that. You can't do that. It is impossibly difficult. The only thing I think that sucks about the maze as compared to the Maze Runner movie. To be, I pulled out my I pulled out my photo editing software. I'm not lying. I think the one thing that sucks about this particular maze is that I think in the what was really cool about the Maze Runner movie is that the maze itself had like so many different like parts to it. It not only had moving, like actively moving walls, but it also had like upper section, like some parts of the maze were higher than other parts of the maze. Like it had weird sections where it was like just very very unique geometry. I think that's the one thing about the cool thing about the Maze Runner movie is it had these spots of very cool and unique geometry. I actually have no idea how to use waypoints on my world map, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to learn, I cannot figure it out. I should really figure out how to use waypoints on my mini-map. I can't figure it out, Nutella Rain. I've tried. I'm an idiot, bro. You have to understand. I'm a tragic idiot. I'll get it. I'll get it, I swear. Next session, I'll spend an hour. I'll spend an hour on like Friday, like figuring it out. Okay, I promise. I've just never used World Map. I've never used World Map in like any of the Minecraft events I've been a part of. I am not a world, like some of these people, they're like World Map, health bar indicators, like all that. I'm like, no, bruh. I would not have used World Map if it was not like expressly given in the mod pack. Although I think the mod pack was super stupid. They had a shitty mod pack. I don't know why. Like, why are we making mod packs? We don't have like. First of all, let me talk about the mod pack. Let me talk about the mod pack. First of all, why the hell are we dropping the mod pack 2 hours, like 1.5 hours before the actual event starts? Give people a day to figure out tech issues. You know people are stupid. Let people figure out their tech issues. Oh my god. Let them get the mod pack working. A fucking hour and a half before, diabolical. Second of all, if you're gonna drop a custom mod pack, you can't even put like even the slightest bit of effort to throwing in at least even some optimization mods. Why are people just throwing in sodium and calling it a day? I thought that we were like, we are the event community. We know how mods work. We know how all this shit works. Like what? Ferrite core? Lithium? Like what? Like what are we doing? Memory leak fix? Like why do we not have these optimization mods? Like these should be like why are we not? Why do these not come standard? It's crazy to me. I'm sorry. I thought that we were like
part, like, on the more technical side of Minecraft. Like, there's no, like, basic bitch, like, load up vanilla. Right? Come on now. Crazy to me. I spent a lot of that stream looking at the map. Yeah, I know. I tried to, dude, I added a ton of performance enhancing mods, and then I tried to log onto the server, and it literally stopped me from logging on because it said you have an unverified mod pack. I'm like, you, dude, I don't even have a replay mod. I was fucking tweaking. The only thing I'm worried about is the goddamn Parable or the Progeny mod pack. Because, you know how the Progeny devs are. You know, every single time they see, like, a single mod pack that's like, oh, it'll increase the lore. It's like, it just makes everybody more annoyed. I promise you it does not make the lore better. It just makes everybody a little bit more pissed. Like, holy shit, like, you added seasons to your goddamn Minecraft event, and now the damn wheat won't grow? Do you think anybody wants to deal with that shit? What's a Progeny? It's a different event. Different Minecraft Civ event, and they get quirky with the mods, let me tell you. They get quirky with the mods. Deal with realism. Yeah, realism sucks. I'm not playing a fucking Minecraft event for it to be real. Believe it or not, I don't log onto the goddamn Minecraft to be like, damn, crazy how realistic this shit is. It adds depth. It does not. It does not. It makes everybody more annoyed. They changed it halfway through the event because they got so many complaints, Roses. What the fuck are you talking about? They literally reverted the wheat can't grow during winter. They literally they took it out because everybody got so pissed. Like, we just want our bread. People are not trying to do farming RP, bro. Or at least people weren't trying to do farming RP. That was not the point. I still have to make my ticket so I can kill Fluxion. Farming RP adds death important. No! No, it doesn't! It does not! Let's play some vintage story. No! When I play in a fucking Minecraft Civ event, I'm not trying to do farming RP. I'm not. That's boring. That is boring. I ain't trying to add a bit of realism. I'm trying to add 0% realism. I'm not playing a Minecraft event for realism. Just because you can tell a good story and not have it to be real, and not have it to be, like, real, alright? Do we need to talk about metagaming? Do we need to do another sheep rant about how great metagaming is? Because we can do that right now. I can drop that shit live, bro. The sheep metagaming rant, we can do that shit again. Don't tempt me. You know how I get. It's gonna make my client run at 30 FPS max, bro. Metagaming is fine. Metagaming is based. Metagaming is incredibly based. It is so based, it becomes a near necessity. If you want to have a interesting, fun Minecraft event, metagaming is essential. Metagaming is a necessary part. Smart players use metagaming. Yeah, of course. But I don't know. For me, that's just like common sense. I feel like maybe I'm just too much on like the common sense train, but I feel like it's just common sense, right? It's like you are in a world full of other people, like, and you're gonna try to do stuff. Like, tell people about the stuff that you want to do. Like, there are so many times where I've like DM'd somebody on Discord, like, hey, I'm trying to betray you. Yo, I want to betray you. This is how I want it to happen. And 9 times out of 10, that person's like, yo, let's fucking go. Because they're also based and they understand how this shit works. They're not stupid. Because it's so much better for everybody involved when everybody has a semblance of an idea of what's going on. Nobody likes to be in the dark or confused. That's boring and it sucks. It's very frustrating. Nobody likes to be confused about stuff. Bro, metagaming literally sucks. It literally does not. You know how many more... Do you know how many RDM complaints mods would have to deal with if everybody decided not to metagame? Oh my god, bro. it would be a crash out of the century. One person gets assassinated. Fucking, oh my god. Metagaming is incredibly important to a healthy, good Minecraft event. Discord is meta. Exactly. Exactly. But I've gone deeper into that. Like when I was a leader in that one event that I was a leader, like I was in leadership meetings with like all the other leaders. Like we were talking about like, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. I was in a leadership meeting with my sworn enemy. Talking about like, hey, so I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do, like, come on. Like I remember in the fucking Ish state. Ish state is arguably, like, every time Ish runs an event, it's arguably the best run event of like anybody, because he gets this. Like Ish runs leadership meeting. I remember like talking to Spoot about like, hey, so we're talking to like the active betrayer of our nation. We're trying to set something up with him. You set up lore with people so then everybody can get involved. That's the point. The point is to make sure that everybody gets to be involved in the lore. It sucks when you are a random citizen and you get no involvement in the random lore and you just get told to do shit. That sucks for everybody. It's not fun. People want to know what's going on. People want to be involved. People want to understand and be part of that story. So let people be part of the story. Don't. Exactly. Let people be part of the story. No, it's more difficult. It's more difficult. It's why metagaming is necessary. Like, this is not like a Dungeons and Dragons session where you have like 5 homeboys and like it's a very small, group, so it's a lot easier because everybody's like traveling in the same group. When you're in like these 100-player events, there's a lot of things going on. That's why good leadership is also important. Good leadership is like incredibly important to like having a good time in a Minecraft event. If your leader sucks, they're probably not metagaming. If you feel like your leader sucks, it's because they're not metagaming. Facts. 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 Is using no, that's the thing. You say maliciously. I don't think maliciously. It's maliciously part of the definition? Does it have to be malicious? Yeah, no, it's just using information from outside the game to influence your actions inside the game. It doesn't have to be malicious. I don't think I think that people use the term metagaming when it's a more, like, it implies something, there's something malicious there. It's not malicious. It doesn't have to be malicious. Like, if I'm trying to pull up and I'm trying to have a war with another nation, I'm gonna fucking tell them. I'm not gonna just pull up randomly halfway through the event with my fucking army of soldiers saying, hey, I want to fight. No. What the f... This is not real life. This is not real life. I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm trying to have a war. Are you trying to have a war? I'm not just gonna pull up outside their capital and ransack their place because they don't have their soldiers ready or something. Sneak attacks aren't fun. Nobody has fun during a sneak attack. Or I guess the people who get to kill everybody have fun, but like, it's not even as much fun as you could be having. It's not fun to get sneak attacked. That's not fun for anybody. Okay? I pull up and I say, I pull up in the DMs of another leader, I say, hey, I'm trying to fight. And then I give reason X, reason Y. Normally, when somebody's trying to fight, normally there's a train of events that happens and both people are willing to engage. And so like, yeah, we'll do that. And it's like, hey, I want to meet here. We can do like speeches here. We can make it like cinematic. Like we can like kind of nail down some of the specifics, but then what actually happens during the fight, like who cares? When the fight starts, the fight starts. Whoever wins, wins. And then that's what's fun. It's about getting everybody on the same page and in the same place and understanding what's going on, so then the actual roleplay can start. That's the point of the metagame. To make sure that everybody can get to the place they need to be, so that when the actual like stuff happens, then the role-playing can be natural and fun and real and it can actually affect something. That's the point of a good metagame. Alright? Because guess what? Organizing a bunch of people is not easy. Especially when you have a bunch of people who are, who have free will. You are not in a Civ event with a bunch of NPCs. Everybody's got free will here. The active surprise is a good moment. It depends. I think 9 times out of 10 it's bad. Because it really sucks to just get randomly assassinated out of nowhere. What was going on half the time? Maybe that's like good. I can understand why maybe that's good for you. We got nuked. Yeah, that probably fucking sucks. That's got that I would be pissed. You're just gonna like at least like build some tension at least. Like I don't need to know that I'm being nuked. I need to know that there's a potential that I will be nuked. I don't need to know that I'm getting nuked. I need to know that there's a potential avenue where I will be nuked. I can expect a nuke, or I can prepare, like, there's some world where I can be like, okay, maybe we might get nuked. There's like a 50-50. I want to at least know that there's a possibility that I'm not getting nuked. Okay? That's the point of the metagame. Some tension. I feel like there should be like some like, hey, like this is why you have mods, like, acting as a liaison, right? They had news for a while, yeah. That's also half on your leaders, though. I think, like I said, I think a good leader is super important to a good RP event, or to be part of a good civilization. You need a good leader who is willing to be like, you know, who tells people. I think the worst kind of leaders are people who take their job way too fucking seriously. Like, tell people about what's happening. Like, I think the best thing that you can do as a leader is be way open about, like, what's happening. Like closed door meetings should not stay closed doors. Like, just because you go to the closed door meeting doesn't mean that nobody should know what happened in that meeting. Most people should know what happened in that meeting. So then everybody can, like, kind of be a part of the story. They can kind of watch, they can exist in that universe in a fun, exciting way. That isn't like, I'm some clueless citizen. Guess what? We're all clueless citizens in real life. I'm not playing a Civ event to be real life. I don't want to be a clueless citizen in a Minecraft event. So yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Metagaming, when used tastefully, is an essential part to a fun and productive Civ event that makes everybody have a swell time. Rant over. That's all I have for today, in terms of this. Maybe something else will come up. Holy rage bait? Dude, I was rage baiting myself. If that's rage bait, then I was rage baiting myself. We're gonna call that rage bait? I just think that... Ready for day 3? I mean, I don't know how ready I can be. I got all the shit I need. We have some semblance of organization. I still don't know if we're gonna, like, try to bum rush the, I think I'm just gonna try to bum rush doing the memory day 1 or day 3, and then, like, I'll probably have, like, if we speedrun it, then we can, like, get through it fast, I'd imagine. And then have enough time to, like, probably map out at least maybe some other locations. Because that's the big thing. Like, there's a big part of the map that we just don't know where places are. We just don't know where things exist right now in a large part of the maze. And so as long as we have locations of, like, locations of interest, I think that'll be a huge benefit. All the no, water buckets don't work in the maze. Water buckets do not work. I know, because I have one. I thought the same thing, and they do not work. Yeah, so that's why the fire attack is such a dangerous thing with the Grievers. If you get hit by the fire attack, you're done. It'll fuck your sprint, and then you're just dead. Like, that's why. Doesn't it change? How would you know? Well, no, the maze changes, but the locations of interest don't change. All, like, the important places always are in the same place every time. Well, we're going to, what's it called? Alcatraz. That's BS? No, I don't think it's BS. I think it's totally understandable. Again, I think the big complaint that I had was that it's very frustrating to have to try to find place. Like, this is a very big maze. I think it's very annoying to have to, like, not kind of have a general idea of where I just want to know a general idea of where I'm supposed to go. Because again, if I'm not allowed to go anywhere I want, if there's a specific place I need to go, then it's very frustrating to see like a bunch of other like locations of interest and being like, oh, too bad, you can't go there, sucker. That sucks. I would like to know where the place is that I need to go, and then I can map and route my way there. Because that's the fun part. Actually solving the maze and then running through the maze, like, that's the fun part. Right? Just walking around random corners. Just, oh, I wonder what happened here. That's not as fun. The exploration, I think, is kind of destroyed by world map. If they wanted it to be... If they wanted this shit to be... to have an emphasis on exploration... then they should have made A, the maze more interesting, and B, not given us world map, okay? Exploration cannot be a thing in this event. It can't. Okay? Fundamentally. Maze is unsolvable? Well, no. The question is like solving the maze is like solving how to get to the next place. It's not getting to the end. The end is where you're trying to go. Alright? I just need to know where I'm trying to go before I can even attempt to do anything. Like, that's the point of solving the maze. It's getting to the place where I'm trying to go. Let me solve the maze. Let me run through the maze. Let me brave the challenges of the maze. And then we can start talking about... Why don't you build up? Because it's banned. We have all the locations? No, we don't. Not all of them. Because some of those locations are like, yeah, that's the point. The locations don't move. The walls do. But we don't have all the locations. We have a bunch of random locations. They're just like random points of interest. They're not actually like memory. Like the big important locations are like where you get memories from. We still don't have all of those mapped out yet. We don't know where all of those lie. So we are going to work on that. Or at least half of our runners are going to be on that like duty. And so all we need to do is like had found Alcatraz. Yeah. We found Alcatraz because it's right next to our glade. It's like the closest point of interest to our glade. It is like right there. Alcatraz is very, very, very easy. Can you dig through the wall? No, of course not. That would kind of break the point. That would destroy the point of the maze. If you could break the fucking wall. I'll just tunnel to wherever I need to go. I kind of... No. What? No, you have to solve the maze. You can't just go through... You can't just tunnel... You can't just bridge over the maze. That would destroy the point of the maze. Why would the maze be there? Why does it exist at that point? To be annoying? Sheep mentality? I respect... I'm trying to play this event how it was intended to be played, you bum. God forbid, bro. Look, if they're gonna let me exploit the game, then I'm gonna exploit the game. Alright, if I find an exploit, I'm gonna use that shit. Don't get it twisted. But I'm not purposely going out of my way to try to make the event less fun. If I find a competitive advantage, of course I'm gonna use it. But I'm not actively going out of my way to look for one. Difference. It would be a lot... The whole event would definitely be a lot lamer if I had to mine. If I could just mine through the wall. The wall would be... Having a porous wall would probably not be a good thing. More transactions dropped? Jesus. People signing a bunch of unnamed rookies. Yahoo! Sorry, I'm not thinking right now. Sorry, I'm not using my brain cells right now. It's a common problem. You wouldn't get it. Some food. I think I'm good for now. If you have steak, I'll take steak. But if you have bread, then I don't want it. I don't want your bread. Okay? Do not... First of all, I hate the rain sound effects. That's gotta go. But don't drop me no bread. I do not want your bread. Trees. You just... Look, you need... I understand that you're Mr. Sky Farmer, but... I think if you're gonna be a builder, I think that... some people have to think more about the aesthetics of our glade. I think not enough people have thought about the general aesthetic of the glade. That's what, I'm not trying to criticize the builders, because I'm not a builder. But I'm just saying, we have a bunch of cool buildings, but all the stuff that surrounds them is not nearly as cool. I ain't no builder, and I've been saying it. I am a farmer. I think that being I never understood, like, the farmer role. Like, at what point does it become boring? Because, like, I get it, like, at the very beginning, it's important to have, like, farmers so then people have enough food. But, like, after the farms are built, like, how much food can you fucking collect? Like, what do you do all of it? You just sit there and collect food? You're just like, oh, time to harvest again, I guess. Doing it for the memes. So you just sit around and, like, just dick around with your homeboys? You just sit and dick around with your homeboys for the entire event. Man. I'm not built like you are, Nutella. Maybe it's just, like, streamer brain that's, like, fucked me up. But I gotta be doing something. I want something to happen. I cannot simply exist. I want things to go on. I need things to do. I want to play the game. I guess that's why I constantly find myself in these, like, leadership positions. Not leadership, or, like, semi-leadership. I find myself relatively close to, like, the leaders of the thing. Every time I manage it. It's because it's fun. Because I get to see inside. I get to see inside the system. Or at least I become part of the system. If I've got the leader of our nation in my DMs, then I've succeeded. I think. Hunger 10 for 30? Jesus. I think that style of civ event has kind of fallen out of favor, I think. I think for good reason. That comes off to me as very, like, dated. Very dated civ event ideas, you know? Like, we need to have some special event go on. Farm so much we didn't starve. Well, did you give food to other people like farmers are supposed to do? Or were you just an asshole? You just didn't give food to people? You're the farmers, no? The point of the farmers is to help the nation. What, you're just hoarding all the food? Jesus. Watching people starve? Need someone, exactly. I get that. But I think, like I said, I think that style of civ event where it's like everybody going like the four corners, you go into the four corners, and then you have, like, every day there's, like, a special event that goes on, and it's, like, it's kind of a very linear progress. I think that stuff has kind of failed for, like, more nebulous I think more and more of these events are kind of just placing everybody on one big island and just say, fuck it, do whatever. I think that's generally the best way to do, like, if you want to do a good classics event, I think that's the best way to do it. You know? Throw everybody on, like, a big island or two islands or whatever, and then just, like, have them go at it. Why, like, no more of this, like, segregating people. Like the point of, I think the fun part of these civ events is no longer saying, like, can these people survive, right? The point is to simulate civilization. Or at least to make up our own little fucking civilizations. It's not to try to survive or whatever. Like, oh, can you brave the challenges by working together? Like, what the fuck? I could probably do that shit on my own, right? Most people could probably do that shit on their own. But the point is, like, they're trying to do other things besides that, right? That's the fun part of this event. So much food. Like I said, you and I are not the same, Mr. Nutella, right? And I respect that. We need people like you in these civ events. Because if everybody was like me, shit would probably be a little bit boring. It's diversity that makes us strong. I'm Sheepo3, and I approve this message. 4 ideologies? Oh, Jesus. What 4 ideologies could there be? Wait, what were the 4 ideologies? What? Wait, what was the 4 I am confused. What? Yeah, capitalism, communism, I get that. Theocracy? Those are different, but you're not, what? Theocracy, it cannot be compared to capitalism. What? That's not how this shit works. Wait a minute. That's not how this shit works. Technology? That's bro, we are fucking, what the fuck? Look, I've always said, and I will always say, the most base nations are the ones where the most base nations are the ones with one leader. Theocracy is the most based. In these Minecraft Civ events, the best way to run a civilization is through a single leader. I think everybody who tries to make their leadership like have a council or whatever, that's stupid. Councils, democracy, it is stupid. It is stupid and it is annoying and it doesn't serve anybody's purpose. It's not fun. Having one leader is fun because it's easy for everybody to communicate. It's easy for everybody to talk about. It's better for the video to have one central figure. Nobody cares if you kill one member of the Senate. Everybody's gonna care. Everybody's gonna care if you kill the leader, right? Makes everything more important. And also, it's kind of sick. Look. Being a good member of the nation is an important part. Nutella Rain, are you somebody who likes to war? Do you indulge in warfare? Is it something you, like, I wonder, like, do you seek war? I guess the question is, like, do you seek warfare? Or do you let it come? And if it does come, do you engage? Because warfare comes. You cannot stop warfare from approaching you rapidly. In all these civ events, okay? Warfare is a necessary part of a good civ event, I think, but I guess my question is, like, if your fucking leader said go to war, it's going to wartime, would you suit up? I'm saying, let's say your fucking leader says, I want to, like, this nation has been calling us poopy heads. Nation A has been calling Nation B poopy heads. Let's say you're in Nation A. And your leader says, I, the leader of Nation A, I'm going to go to war with Nation B. And I'm trying to collect all the people we can because I want to kill these fuckers. I need all the men I can to fight in this war. Maybe not men, but like individuals, you know? We don't want to be sexist right here. I want all the collections of people to go to this war. Would you join the war party? That's, you know, this is situation A. Just for that reason, maybe. Okay. All right. So, if you were being called a poopy head, you would not go to war if your leader said go to war. Okay, interesting. Now this is situation B. Let's say Nation B in the second situation. Let's say Nation B says, I'm going to attack Nation A. You are in part of Nation A, and you're all peaceful. But Nation B says, I'm going to fucking kill everything. I'm going to kill all your people. Do you stay and fight, or do you run? And let's say it was like even strength. It wasn't like a surefire, like it was like a 50-50 chance you would win the war. Let's say your leader says, we are going to stay and fight. We're not going to step down from these. Stay and fight. Okay, all right, I see. I gotcha. Let's say, okay, now here's the third situation. Let's say that let's say that I'm trying to how do I word this situation correctly? Let's say a mod makes an announcement in the Discord and says, "Hey, everybody, we're gonna do one giant final battle at X place, and it's gonna be between Nation A and all of their allies, and Nation B and all of their allies. And it's gonna happen here, and it's gonna happen at this time, and no other wars will happen besides that big war." Would you join in that war? Would you fight in that big war? If it was like, hey, you know, this is the war, this is what's gonna happen, this is how it's gonna go down, this is the final. Would you join in the final battle? Give me 1 second. Somebody's calling me. Okay, I'm running Nutella Rain through the fucking. I'm running him through like the moral purity test or something. This is the Civ Event player test. I don't know. I'm so curious about this. I've met somebody who's so like I don't want to say drastically differs from my perspective, but it's like just has a different idea of how to play Civ Events. So I'm like, that's interesting. Because I think the one thing that I always thought about is like, man, like I can imagine myself being a builder maybe, but I'm not good enough as a builder, I think, and I don't have enough prep time to really make a cool build or something. Like that to me, it just sounds so boring. I like the politics and the drama and the war and the fighting. That's why being a bodyguard is such a sick job, bro. You'll know. I think there needs to be death and war for a Civ event to be fun, but that's a whole different conversation. But I think there needs to be. It needs to be tactically limited. I think sometimes people go too hard on like the war death stuff. When people go too hard on the war death stuff, shit gets really fucked. I'm back. Oh yeah. So yeah, situation number 3. Situation 3. There's a giant final battle. It's between Nation A and all their allies and Nation B and all their allies, and the mods are saying it's going to happen here at this time. And they're going to go to a neutral spot and they're going to fight. Nation A and Nation B are going to go to a neutral spot and fight. And Nation A says, okay, we're going to go to the war. And the mods are saying, yeah, this is what's going to happen. Would you join in that war? Or would you stay behind? Would you join your nation and fight in that war? Or would you stay behind and, I don't know, farm or whatever? Well, no, mod isn't saying you have to go. Mod is saying this is what's going to happen. You can join or you don't want to join, basically. It's like your leader is saying, hey, we're all going to fight here because the mod is like dictating that, like, this is how we're going to do the war. I'm not saying you have to go to. I'm saying it's a mutual war between the two. This isn't like somebody's attacking somebody else. This is like both people are kind of mutually engaging in warfare right here. Okay, I'll join. Okay, awesome. All right, now here's actually a secret 4th scenario, Nutella Rain, because I just thought of something. This is the secret 4th scenario. I'm kind of interrogating you right now, but you're doing very good right now. Okay, 100%. Let's say that. Let's go back to situation 1 where you're part of Nation A and your leader says we're going to attack Nation B. Now let's say that in that scenario you said that you would not go to war. You would not join the attack on Nation B. Let's say that all the people, all your farmer buddies, let's say you're farming and all your farmer buddies say, hey, I want to join that war. I want to join the attack. Would you follow them? If all your homeboys were going to war, would you follow the homeboys? Would you fight alongside your homeboys if they said we're gonna go attack Nation B? Because, you know, they got called a poopy head and they're not happy about that. There's not a right or wrong answer to this. You're part of Nation A. You gotta attack Nation. Your leader says we're attacking Nation B. And all your homeboys are saying, I'm joining up. I'm going in arms. All your farmer friends. Every farmer has picked up their pitchfork and says, time to go to war. Stab you in the back. I think it's important. I think stabbing people in the back is important. But it needs to be done with purpose. Stabbing somebody in the back for no reason is kind of lame. And also, always playing a character where you always stab the leader in the back is also lame. I am actually the exact opposite. I've never stabbed anybody in the back. Interesting. Okay, no, that's a good answer. I like that answer. It's not a yes or no. Or kill the good answer, All right, good to know, Nutella. I, for one, am always down for a good war. But again, I think I'm always down for a good war with limits, right? It can't just be a good war for no reason, because then that's not a good war. The best wars happen for good reasons. They happen tactically and sparsely. But there needs to be one. You can't have a good Civ event without a good war. That's my opinion. No good Civ events end without a war, because the only people that have fun during peace are the leaders that got to negotiate the peace. You know who doesn't have fun during a peace? Nobody else. The reason why things are fun and spicy is because, you know, they're limited, right? Your life is a commodity. If your life is never threatened, if your life is never, like, in jeopardy at all, I don't understand. Like, that seems boring to me. Alright? I have one life. And even if I'm playing, like, pacifist, I'm trying to avoid conflict, like, still, like, the implicit threat of there being, like, an attack on your nation. Like, it makes it a little bit more exciting. It makes it a little bit more, like, I'm sure there's got to be, like, fun inside, like, the giant invading army is coming and you have to run from your houses. Like, that's fun. I've done that before. That's super fun. Trying to gather up everybody. Yo, they're coming to attack us. Run. Go, go, go. Like, they're, like, big wars like that are, like, I think, even pacifists, even people who don't actively engage in fighting have to admit that warfare is, like, it can be fun for everybody involved, not just the people who are fighting. As long as there's not too much, like, you know, looting and burning. I think keep the looting and burning to a minimum, I'd say, but besides that, build a KFC. I want peace. That's lame. Nobody has fun. I think it's fun that if you build the KFC, there's a threat that your KFC might be taken from you. You're building a KFC, but you might die in the process of building the KFC. I think that's fun. The fact that there is some implicit, like, danger. That's all I'm saying. I also generally like popular leaders, I think, but maybe that's just a me thing. I'm very much a glazer. That's my role in these Civ events. I am the ultimate glazer. All right? I am the ultimate loyalist. Any nation that I'm a part of, I am ultimately loyal to that person, okay? I don't think I've betrayed. I don't think I've actively betrayed a single one of my leaders. Ever. I've never backstabbed anybody. And that's for good reason, because I like being... Sheep, how well known do you become in those events? Me? That's such a hard question, because it feels like I'm gonna, like, try to gas myself up. Definitely the Ish video, being as popular as it has been, has definitely increased my profile. I've realized that my profile in these, like, servers has definitely been, like, a little bit, like, elevated. Because I was such, like, a prominent name inside of that Ish video. Maybe not prominent, but I was, like... I was seen, right? People recognize the name, right? Sheep03 is a recognized name. So there's a certain aspect of, like, I feel that a lot more. Maybe hey, I remember you from, like, way before the Ish video, Nutella, right? Don't worry. This isn't like a... But I think I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I think the more you feel known in these events, not through, like, people who recognize you, but through the opportunities you get from it. I think the thing that's really fun and interesting about playing in a lot of these Civ events is that I get a lot of opportunities, basically, to be part of stuff. People want me to be a part of their thing. And so every time I join in these, like, Civ servers, a lot of the time I don't have to actively search out, like, a nation or join something on my own. Not, like, a lot of the times I'll just be invited. Like, hey, yo, Sheep, I saw you join the event. Do you want to join our nation? That'll happen a lot. And most of the time I'll take that offer up. Yeah, 100%, let's go. And then normally that leads to good things because I joined off of recommendation of somebody else, and so therefore I have a little bit more like credibility, and then I can kind of leverage that credibility into getting myself a position that I probably shouldn't have had, or getting myself a certain level of like importance in the event that I probably, you know, should not have gained, but I have it anyway because, you know, ultimately I'm a vibey guy. Believe it or not, like the stream certainly helps. The fact that I have a face cam certainly helps the whole like, hey, I'm a pretty cool dude. But it's also mostly because, like, I'm, like, most of the time, like, I'm just a pretty chill guy. Most people don't actively hate playing with me. When I play with other people, they like playing with me. And so 9 times out of 10, you know, I just make friends. And then those friends, you know, I can leverage those connections. Like, who knows? Maybe in, like, the next event down the road, I'll meet, like, maybe it'll be, like, fucking Dante is in another event. And then Dante will see my name tag. He's like, yo, I'm making another nation. Can you, like, join up? It's entirely possible. It's just how things happen. Didn't really work. Well, I've been doing this way before I did, like, Civ event stuff. So this was streaming happened way before Civ event started. Civ event was just a thing that I was, like, interested in because I watched an Ish video. Not having a chat? Well, yeah, you like that's kind of just something you have to suffer through for like a year until you either gain like you either find a game that you like to play and people like to watch you play, and then you can kind of gain viewers off of that, or you just are weird and quirky like me and you have like a consistent fan base of like weird individuals who just like your personality. And that's kind of what I've had. So it's nice because I can kind of drag my people to a lot of different places, and it tends to work out. I don't really stick to one game for a very consistent amount of time. I'll bounce around a lot. But yeah, I'm used to streaming with no chat. That's the thing. I'm like my viewer count is not super high. It's just I'm just, you know, I've been doing this for a while, Nutella, and I've seen the highs and I've seen the lows. And I think that, here's my take, I think that if you don't like to stream when there's nobody in chat, I think that you're just not cut out for being a streamer. And that's fine. I'm not saying you have to be a streamer. I'm just saying, like, you're probably not built for being a streamer if you can't do it when you've got nobody watching. Or if like losing viewership or like seeing your viewership go down, like, hurts you significantly, I think that shit kind of, like, come on now. I think to really be a streamer, you gotta love the game of this. And I love the game. So I've been here for that long because I love the game. And I've seen a lot of my streamer friends, or people who used to be my streamer friends. I mean, not having, well, just, yeah, you have to talk to the voices in your head, Nutella, right? You have to. That's the only way you get somewhere, right? You have to talk to the voices in your head for a little bit, and then eventually somebody will join your chat and be like, "Oh, yeah, I can talk to the voices in my head, but like with people watching, right?" It's a performance, right? Like, streaming is not inherently about talking to people. I know I'm talking to you right now, like we're having a conversation, but it's like not really, like, streaming is not really about a conversation. It's about it's a show. It's a performance. I'm an actor in a play, right? I'm not talking to the audience. It's just a nice quirk of what I have right now with, like, my smaller chat size and, like, my more personal, like, my way of doing streaming. It's a quirk that I have. It's not a thing. Like, talking to nobody is kind of, you have to treat it like a performance or a play, I think. That's the way you have to think about it. And I think that's how, like, a lot of big streamers think about it, right? Because their chat are moving so fast, it's like you can't really have a conversation with somebody in chat. Or really, like, meaningfully, like, talk to chat. I guess talking to chat is, like, the event day 3. Yeah, you can do that. I think that's fine. But, again, like, you have to, like, I think that if you're just gonna stream a Civ event, I think, like I said, streaming has to be, like, I think you want it to be purposeful, right? You're not streaming just for, like, the shits, right? You're streaming because you're like, I want this to be entertaining. I want this to be able to exist, like, on its own, right? I want this VOD. I think streaming, the goal of the stream, somebody asked, oh, dude, I've seen the stream you know me, Nutella. Well, you don't know me. I don't like to self-promote ever. I think you know this. Or at least you've seen it. Like, I have you ever seen me, like, self-promote my own stream in these Civ events? I don't think I ever have done that shit. Or at least I try very hard not to. I don't like to do the self-promotion shit. And, like, they have that, like, the streamer stuff. And it's become such a thing now where it's like you watch other people, like, stream for these Civ events. I guess, I don't know. Like, there's been, like, the whole community has changed, man. Ever since that damn Ish video, bro. In the app? Oh, okay, well, I use it in the app so I can get in, okay, Nutella? I use that shit so I could fucking... I use that shit because I wanted every advantage. I wanted to get into the damn event, Nutella, right, okay? But, like, when I'm actually in the event, I'm not, like, showing up, okay? I try to keep my shit on the low. But it's become way more of a thing I've recognized, or I've seen. Like, all these Civ events that I joined recently, there's always people talking about, oh, who's streaming? So, like, if I die, I can, like, watch the rest of it. It's like, that to me is so crazy. I never thought of it like that. But I guess that, like, it's just become way more of a thing. So maybe I should just start, like, shamelessly self-promoting. Or maybe not shamelessly, but self-promoting way more frequently. Because if people want, like, the promotion, right? If people want to watch the event, like, I don't know, it seems... I don't know. I can be pretty abrasive sometimes, so... I also understand that I am not like a lot of other Civ players. I am definitely... I lean towards being a bit more abrasive, so I don't know if I want to... Nutella Rain, I get a lot, like, every time I look at, like, the kind of people that do or, like, join these Civ events, it kind of gives me, this is not an insult, but it kind of gives me, like, Dream SMP, maybe specifically from, like, the Ish event community, like, Ish State 2.5 group. Definitely a lot of their fans give me, like, Dream SMP watchers. And that's fine. It's just that I feel that me, being who I am, would not be built for those people. I am not constructed for those individuals. And I've talked about this before. I don't think I'm built for those people, so... I'm not trying to scare off anybody. I wasn't there, so I don't know. Yeah, it's just... Look, it's just a specific kind of person. And they're fine, they're cool, I think they're great. But I don't know if I'm not made for them. I'm just not. I am a creature, okay? I'm a creature. That is what I am, and I understand this. And once I get a camera that doesn't shake every time I touch my keyboard, let me tell you, bro. You best be ready. I got mod progeny? Oh no, they modded you? Uh-oh. How long do you think until you get banned? Time of death for Charles. Damn it! I only just noticed the screen shakes. Ha ha! You're never gonna be able to unsee it now, doggo. That's right. When I get mad, you feel it. Oh no, I got a DM. A Minecraft event that's basically an SMP but for 6 days. I think Spood held something like that. Spood did it. Spood held a Skyblock event that was like a week, but the server never closed. That was a Spood thing. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't really like SMPs. I think like the whole I think the way that like lifesteal has like turned SMPs into like content farms. I don't like that. I think that's boring in the event stuff. I don't know. I find that boring. I think that specifically the style of PvP that they employ is like lame as hell. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be super into that. Maybe. I don't. I think that maybe the idea would be like there's like zero emphasis on roleplay, right? Would there be like RDM rules? I guess like with no roleplay, there's no like RDM, right? Hold on, I need to... have one life. Well, like the problem, the other fundamental part of a Civ event is like there is like RDM rules. That's the reason why people form civilizations in the first place, right? Like early Civ events like didn't really have civilizations because there would just be like one group of people that just ran around and killed everybody. The best strategy in a Civ event is not to be a part of a civilization. these large dozen plus people civilizations, like this is a product of like rules regarding like roleplay and stuff. That's the reason why those things exist. It's not because that's the optimal way to play the game. If people were trying to optimally play the game, you know, bases would look a whole lot lamer. Let me tell you that. The ideas in a normal world. But like you would have like, would there be rules around like, I guess, like I said, like RDM or like griefing other people's builds? Like where do you draw the line there? I think if you work together, you work better. No, not in Minecraft. It depends what goal you're working towards. If your goal is just to kill as many people as possible, well, the best strategy is to gather a group of like 5 people and then just start murking everybody. Right? You don't need... Like, working in a larger group is like antithetical to your goals. Mining? Well, that's fine. It's like... but like... The problem with PvP is that it fundamentally affects somebody else. Like, there are 2 people that are necessary for there to be PvP. So the question I'm asking is that if you're running the Civ event, is somebody allowed to kill everybody? Somebody says, hey, somebody else wants to mine, somebody else wants to farm, well, I want to kill everybody. Are they allowed to do that? Because if they're allowed to do that, then that fundamentally changes the formation. Because if everybody's allowed to kill each other, then the only thing that you can think about is killing each other. Mining and farming are meaningless. The only point of this event is to fight. You have to survive. It becomes much more of like a... It loses its identity as a Civ event. It's no longer a Civ event. It's like a battle royale. Or like a battle royale to a certain extent. Last person standing, survivor type thing. Right? Nobody's gonna make a giant civilization of like 100 people and have like internal politics and stuff inside of an event where everybody like can just kill each other, because one person can do one person who's really good at PvP is more effective than 5 people who are okay at PvP. It's just Minecraft. It's the way it goes. So we have to be careful. A little bit more lax on it. Like, what do you mean by lax? I'm gonna press you for specifics, because I'm pressing you for specifics of something that you have no idea about. It's just an idea you have in your head. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like specifics are really important here. I think that like I don't know, how would you, I guess like I think RDM rules, like in general, like the idea of an RDM rule is like you can't kill somebody unless you have a good reason to. And I guess the question is, what constitutes a good reason? Well, usually a good reason to kill somebody is something that meaningfully, I would say a good reason to kill somebody is something that progresses your character or your individual goals like in a positive direction, right? You're killing somebody because you're trying to improve something for somebody else or a nation, right? Strategy, you're playing RP events wrong. Focusing on strategy, you're playing RP events wrong. Well, I think you can play strategy. Well, yeah. Like I think that there is some necessary, like RP is necessary for civilizations to be a thing, right? Civilizations don't exist without RP, without people fundamentally having like the same goal of like I want to RP, like being in part of like some giant nation, right? And I understand that and I respect that. It's just a question of where, like how much RP, or how deep do you think the RP has to go to optimally create that environment, right? For me, my limit is like you need to, like everybody needs to be like I think for me there needs to be some what's the word I'm looking for? Some like the goal of everything should be story, right? The goal of everything is story. And so all your RP should fundamentally be should be focused on creating a good story. That's the most important thing. And I think that's how you should be like, and that's why I think like metagaming, that's why I see metagaming as like a beneficial thing in civ events, because I think that if you're going to appeal to the authority of the overarching story, then I think metagaming becomes a much more important part of that. If you want a more like authentic roleplay experience, if you are appealing to a more authentic roleplay experience as your main goal, I think everybody should be living this trying to be as authentic as possible in their roleplay. Well, then metagaming is a terrible thing. That's a terrible thing to have happen. I don't appeal to that, right? My appeal is always like to, I don't know, some story for a greater audience, because in my estimation, I think the best civ events are the ones that are entertaining to watch as well as to play in, or are entertaining to watch. Because if the event is entertaining to watch from an outside observer, usually it is more entertaining to play in. That's a trend I've noticed. Like if something is more fun to watch on a screen, I think it becomes more entertaining to play in. It's more fun to play in. If it's a good story outside, then there needs to be it's a good experience inside. That's why I think like some of the best civ events that I remember have ended up being videos. Like Progeny 2.0, not Parables. Parables 2 was one of my favorite all-time civ events. But that's because, you know, it had a really fun story, an ultimate like overall arching story that was really fun, and so it became entertaining based on that, right? State 2.5 for Mish was another civ event I had a lot of fun playing in, and that was because, you know, it had a really fun story. Some edge cases. Yeah. It's very hard though to like moderate that. I think like a lot of civ events is just about like getting the right people sometimes, Nutellarain. Like you just need to be you just need to accept the right people, because some people are just not built for certain civ events. Was everybody makes their own groups and plans accordingly? You know, I had a civ event that was like, I played in a civ event that was like that. It'd be a colonization event where there is an island. There is a civ event that I played in. It sucked and it was a failure, but mostly because the server sucked more than the actual event itself sucked. So the idea of the event was like there were gods. It was like a Greek event, right? It was a Greek event, and there were 12 gods, like Greek mythology. But they were actually like real gods, as in like there were mods that were playing as gods. And they could actually give you stuff, right? Like if you appealed to the god, you could actually like get stuff. And they were like, yeah, you know that one. See, it was the Mochi event. You know that one. Okay, great. Yeah, the Mochi event, that one sucked. Well, mostly because the server sucked as hell. Like, the event didn't suck because the event itself was a bad idea. I thought the event was going to suck regardless, but, yeah, the server was terrible. I was one. Oh my god, you were! That's why I know your fucking name! That's why I recognized you! Because you were a fucking Mochi person. Oh, dude, I went off. I had a big old rant at the Mochi mod team. I think during the second Mochi event, or maybe the third one. I don't know. I went off at the fucking Mochi mod team, bro. All right. I thought that, like, I like me. I'm not gonna say me and Mochi like friends, but like we know each other. We've talked in the past. We're friendly to each other. Like I'm friendly with her. She's friendly with me. She's great, bro. I remember, dude. I thought that mod team. I don't know what your experience was. I thought that shit was I thought that fucking Mochi mod team was a fucking disaster class because of the amount of drama. I thought there were way too many cooks in the kitchen. That's my hot take. Indeed? Okay, thank you. I'm so fucking glad that you were with me because, dude, I remember, like, looking at the mod team and, like, people were disagreeing publicly and, like, they were not on the same page. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing? I was tweaking, bro. I'm like, these mods fucking blow. So during that event, I had no faith in the mods playing as gods. I had no faith whatsoever that you guys would be fair and do a good job. I had no faith whatsoever. No offense. But like when you are given like carte blanche power to kind of just do whatever the fuck you want, it becomes very easy as a god to just like find a group of people, mega stack them, and then have them fucking run over everybody else because you just decided to get like, you know, you got power hungry and just started to run over everybody. You just gave all your people all the best stuff, right? So for me, I thought that shit was going to be a disaster. Now, I did not see that come to pass because the server sucks so bad. But that was my ultimate opinion. That like I liked the idea of it, but I thought it was going to end up as a disaster. You kill as a god. The only reason I remember playing in that event because I remember it was like my entire goal as a civilian was just to appeal to the god that nobody else cared about and then get their power weapon. That's all I want. I wanted a power weapon. I wanted one of the really strong weapons. That's all I wanted. So I was going to build a giant temple to, I think it was Artemis, and I was going to get the bow. That was my goal. I was the only person that like worshipped Artemis, and I was gonna be like, yeah, since I'm the only person that's worshiping this person, I'm gonna get the weapon. So that was my secret plan, and I built a really cool temple too. I don't think I have the schematic anymore, but I built a really sick looking temple. I never got to build it though because the lag was so awful. But yeah, the Mochi events were certainly and then to be fair, like the second Mochi event, like respectfully, the second Mochi event sucked. No offense. That sucked. Mostly because if you were not an important person and all the important people were decided beforehand, then you did nothing. If you were not somebody who was important, then you got to do nothing that entire event. The entire event was walking around doing nothing. That event sucked. Really bad. I think that was actually one of the Civ events that kind of like got me on like thinking the way I do about Civ events. I think it's very important to try to make sure that there's always something to do, even for like the most unimportant of persons, politically speaking. You need to make sure that everybody gets to be important, right? It's important. Everybody has something to do. Even when they're not important, somebody needs something to do. You don't want a bunch of people sitting around being bored, which is what I did. And so I spent basically that entire event sneaking around in the castle. I block glitched up to the castle and I spent the entire event sneaking around in it. That's what I did. I got caught a couple times, but I just left. So, hey, you know, the third Mochi event had legs. It had something, but I think ultimately it ended up sucking too. The third Mochi event also ended up sucking, but for different reasons. I actually kind of forget what happened to the third Mochi event. Oh, you know, I remember why I forget, because I died. I died halfway through because I tried to kill somebody I tried to kill somebody, and then they fucking murked me. I got turned on super hard. That was actually the event that sparked my my PvP arc. I went on like a mini PvP arc to get better at the game, and I did. I'm getting like not good, but like at least like passable. So I went on my PvP arc because I got fucking murked heavy in that event. So yeah, that's why I don't remember that event, because I died super early. That was also the same event that I started being okay with dying. Because I think at that point it was like my third or fourth consecutive event that I just died before the event had ended. And I think since then, I don't think I've ever survived to the end of a Civ event. There's never been a Civ event that I can't remember a Civ event off the top of my head that I survived to the end. I've died in almost every single Civ event I joined in. Yeah, that was a good time. I think dying is based. I think you should I think you should seek to die during Civ events. That's my hot take of hot takes. Usually, if you found some way to die in a Civ event, it usually means that you've done something, or at least you were trying to do something. If you die, it means you've done something or you tried to do something. I think that is worth. It is worth the effort of trying to do something, right? That's the point. But also, I don't know. I think the last day of every Civ event, to be fair, I haven't experienced the last day of a Civ event like almost ever. But of all the last days that I've played in, they were always boring as hell, so. Maybe I just have a hatred towards the last days. What a funny little thing this whole thing is, isn't it, Nutella? We have really found ourselves. Writing the B-movie script because I said so. Hey, brother's going through it. Not really. Sorry, I'm just looking at some other stuff. I'm looking at some hockey stuff. Not you. Okay. The one is a bit fair-ish, if we can give... Yeah. Oh, you know another funny thing? I remember the Mochi event, the first Mochi event, the very first one that was like a disaster. I remember that one also specifically because Scapolo was playing in that event. And I remember I saw Scapolo, and I remember playing in that event, and Scapolo joined my chat for the first time, and that happened after State 2.5. And I remember after State 2.5, I remember Scapolo was the leader of the West Helm military, and I was the bodyguard for Spood, and he thought I was a super hard simp. I thought that Scapolo didn't like me. And so I remember that was the event that I talked to like Scapolo directly and was like, "Yo, what's up?" And I talking about like, "Hey, do you hate me?" And he was like, "Nah, not really. I just thought you were like a fucking simp as fuck and you were lame." And I was like, "You know what? That's fair. That's a fair assessment." I was a super hard simp for Spood. I would have never betrayed him. So yeah, that was also a funny thing. Just a little funny thing that I got to kind of got to be, I don't want to say friends, but I got to know Scapolo a little bit more, which is nice. Scapolo's a nice guy. Okay, let me go to full runs because we need to play full runs at some point, or else what are we speed running for, right? That whole era of like, oh, I need to turn down my volume. Holy. That whole era of stuff. Because I remember like the time when Mochi was doing events, that era was like it was kind of like an up period, I think, for the most part. There seemed to be a lot of stuff going on. And I think it started to slow down a lot. And then the moment that the Ish video came out, I feel like it's kicked up ever since. Like ever since that Ish video came out, I feel like maybe there's just more people who want to play in these events, but also I feel like there's just more of them around. I think that's cool. Damn it. Welcome to TNT I lit. Somebody RDM'd me in that event. In the very first Mochi event, somebody just RDM'd me for no fucking reason. Genuinely for no... He got banned and I got all my shit back, but it was really funny. In hindsight, it was really funny. I got like somebody just walked in, he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And they just killed me. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Hey, yo. So I got sent to like Death Island. I'm like, "What the hell?" I was crashing out too. It was, in hindsight, very funny that happened, but it did happen. Wolfie VGC will not be attending tournaments for 4 months. Oh, I get that. What does Wolfie VGC have going on besides Pokemon? I guess like being a human being. Probably. That makes sense. I think... Is he locking in to make his goddamn Worlds video already? Tell Wolfie to lock the hell in, alright? I'm here to watch. You've got a whole backlog of events to make videos about, boy. He's not making a world... I gotta pull up. Is this like... This is... Let me pull up the Wolfie Twitter account. Hold on. Hold on. What's going on here? I mean, I know he got washed in Worlds, so I can understand why he didn't want to make one if he got washed in Worlds. He made day 2 though, so. Damn, bro's not tweeted anything. Bro does not tweet. Let me go to the Wolfie channel. Maybe he's got a channel announcement. He had a miserable time. Uh-oh. Bro, sorry. This thumbnail fucking kills me. Dude, hold on. Let me pull it up. 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 Hey, yo, bro. Bro put on the serious face. That's how you know your shit is real. Oh my god, I'm dying. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Okay, hold on. YouTube. I actually want to watch this. I'm curious now. What happened to my boy? He looks so mad now. Bro looks in pain. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this man. What is this thumbnail? No more bright colors and happiness? What happened to you, Wolf? All right, hold on. Let me... All right. This is
a video that I have thought about making every day for the last 2 months.
Damn.
Every day since last year's World Championships in August. This is also a video that I don't especially want to make, but I do think that it is very important because I think that you, the viewers, deserve an update on what's been going on and on why I'm going to be making some of the changes that I'm going to be making. I already today have recorded for over an hour trying to get this video into a place that I felt like it was good and coherent. And as you are watching this attempt at the video, you've probably realized that I have not succeeded yet. So I have some notes on the screen for myself here, just trying to keep the video
he's not even
brief.
scripting this shit.
I actually sat down after this year's World Championships back in August, and I recorded a video that I had hoped would be this video, but it was about 40 minutes long. It was really rambly, and in the end, I think it read more as a plea for empathy rather than a channel update, which is what I hope this video will be. I want to be respectful of your time. So for those of you who only want to know what's going on and don't want the full picture, I'm just going to tell you up front what has been happening. Well, I'm going to tell you the takeaways, and then I will tell you what's been happening and how it's affected me.
What are the takeaways, Wolf?
Here's the biggest thing that you need to know. This year, for the first time since I started making them, I will not be doing a video about the World Championships. This is not a decision that I take lightly. The Worlds video I've always felt is the most important video each year on the channel, but I also think it's the right decision to not make one this year. On top of that, I am not certain how much longer I will be attending in-person tournaments. I guess what I will say about that is that it is entirely possible that I never compete in or attend another World Championships again. Now, I understand that these are pretty strong statements, and so you are certainly curious, if you've made it this far into the video, what has been going on. And I think the easiest way to start talking about this is to talk about this year's World Championships. Worlds this year was my least favorite Worlds ever. And in the past, most of the time...
Does bro just like hate the formats, or is he just bored with the game? Give me the lowdown. Is it just like is it just like not a fun, is he not having fun with the game anymore? Is just like the classic case of burnout? He just pushed way hard and then he got burned out? Because if that's what it is, I totally get that. Fan experience, really? Oh, he doesn't like being fucking popular as shit. Oh, okay, I get it. That tracks. That tracks a lot, Miraz. That it fucking sucks to be like, try to be a competitor and also be like incredibly popular. Like, oh my god, that's gotta be fucking awful. I can't imagine how awful that is. Imagine being groped? Oh shit, I didn't think it was that serious. Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. It's that serious. Never mind. My bad. I didn't realize it was that serious. Jesus. Okay, so bro got sexually assaulted, and he's like, fuck this, I'm outie. You know what? I get it. I am totally understanding. Some people that exist these days are freaks, and not in the good way, not in like the fun, quirky way. You're freaks, but in the worst way possible. Freaks, but I mean that as an insult. Freaks is in you should be locked up in a fucking asylum. Yeah, that's, man, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but like whenever like there's like a competitor, like I think the thing that sucks is that there is no like protection for him. Like the Pokemon company's not gonna like, what he really needs is like a fucking security team. He needs a security team to keep people the fuck away from him, and he doesn't have a security team. He's just a normal dude. And so I guess he can't really exist in these public spaces as much, especially public spaces where everybody knows who he is. Yeah. I always thought like why would you ever like, man, that always seemed crazy to me. Like, I think if you're going to be a public figure as a competitor, or like as a very popular competitor in like a single player game, like a fighting game, I think that there should be like, there should be like designated times where people can come up to you and like talk to you or ask for an autograph or something. And then people can't approach you at any other time. There should be like rules around that shit, like tournaments. Like fighting game tournaments, Pokemon tournaments, like 1v1 tournaments where people are big like names. There needs to be like designated times where like you are allowed to talk to people. Like there needs to be like a fan zone or something, like a fan meeting ground. And if I'm a popular person, I will go to the fan place. And when I'm in this place, you can approach me and ask for autographs and do all that shit. If I'm not in the fan place, don't fucking talk to me. I'm here to compete, right? There needs to be something like that instituted in these tournaments, or else like people who become content creators in your specific like tournament are always going to feel like this. It's always going to be hell. That's my take. So, because that will never be a thing in these tournaments because, you know, reasons and whatnot. It's just not part of the culture with these tournaments. I think Pokemon, being as like institutionalized as it is, probably has the best chance of making that a reality, but they're not going to, because, you know, Pokemon doesn't care about anything that's not profit, and that's not profit, so who cares? There's a reason why Legends EA looks like shit and probably plays boring as hell too, and people still love it. Did you Mochi event? Dude, I forget so much of the second Mochi event. I remember block glitching up the walls to the castle. I remember block glitching up the walls to the castle and just sneaking around like a rat. That's all I remember doing. I just remember just I remember stealing. I remember stealing a lot of... I stole a lot of stuff. I sold a lot of stuff, Nutella. I think I remember sneaking into, like, it was, like, either the princess or the prince's, like, chambers, and they had a chest full of, like, heads, and I took them all. I took them all. I snuck into the castle, and I took all the shit I could find, Nutella. I was a fucking thief and a rat. I remember that was actually my first time being a sneak. I remember listening to meetings. Like, there were giant meetings happening in, like, giant towers. And I remember being on the outside of the tower, like, on the balcony of the tower, just listening to those meetings. That's what I remember. I don't know if you ever saw me, Nutella, but I was, like, every time there was, like, some important meeting happening with, like, Prince, Princess, like, with royalty, I was just, like... I was just listening in on that shit. I was a rat boy, Nutella. You have to I was the biggest rat boy. That was the first event I ever did that. And it's kind of become a cheapo 3 tradition. You running the JBHL stage? I really fucking hope not, B4. I'm exhausted. I so do not want to cast. I'd rather just go to sleep after I'm done with stream. That's what I want to do. But if I have to, I will. Why? Do you want me to... You just want me to hear you fucking say your name on cast, don't you, B4, you fucking asshole? At a 2v5 tonight? Well, if your second line can do anything, you're gonna get... You're gonna get Gray my entire team call. Oh, well, nah, you're done. Okay, you're not winning. Well, too bad. You lost. Yeah, I was so excited for that match, too. Fuck you, B4. Tell your fucking teammates to get involved. Oh my god. Tell your fucking teammates to play the video game. In theory, you're like a top 5 team in the league, in theory. But I don't rank in theory, boy. Forcing this on me? I mean, Fok is not gonna... Fok is gonna make, like, 3 gigantic mistakes that are gonna cost you goals, okay? Unless that man has significantly improved his positioning, that boy's gonna sell you. Alright, no offense to Fok. He needs positioning. He has none. What are you doing, skater rankings? I'm not doing skater rankings. That is a Caribou ran thing, and usually, like, the way that's run is usually it's a group of, like, scouts that basically submit their own rankings, and then Fuck is gonna sell it. He's gonna sell as much as I sold early in the season. You weren't there when I was selling, okay? Before you joined the team, before I started selling really, after I was selling really hard, because I sold pretty hard early in the season. You weren't there. But when I was like, when I started getting good, that's when you like became a part of the team. You ain't ready. Before you ain't soloing shit, okay, brother? I understand. You're very good at the game. You are not soloing Panax and fucking Shiesty on the same line. You're not doing it. For 8 calls and OT win. You're not. It's not happening, boy. You're gonna get diffed by fucking. You're gonna get diffed by panics. All right. Sorry. Bear Family 4. Bear Family 4 is gonna sell. Okay. Panthers is shiesty. I gotta start saying Panthers instead of shiesty since he changed his name. But yeah, you're gonna get diffed by Pranex and Panthers. Your team is gonna sell for you, and you're gonna crash out. Live. I don't know how much you crash out in team VCs anymore. All right, I'm not a part of those anymore. I can't fucking run B4 defense anymore. All right, man. I'm not there. I can't keep the vibes high. I don't know what the current Rimouski vibes are. All right. Because I remember the Rimouski vibes back in the day. Sometimes they were fucking diabolical, bro. Well, shout out Fish Kizzy for that. But sometimes those vibes were fucking diabolical, bro. You're laughing? Okay, that's good. At least people are having a good time. That's all I really care about. As long as the vibes are good, you know? By the way, B4, I don't know if Dremmings told you this, but the reason why he put you and It's Gray together was because of me. I hope you know that. I was the one who told Dremmings in DMs you should line B4 and It's Gray together. That's what I said. I told him that explicitly. He wasn't going to do it. I told him explicitly, put those two together. They are fucking great. And it worked. Guess what? You fucking popped off, and now you're like one of the best front lines in the league. Lines in my team. I fucking told Dremmings to run that shit. Alright? I deserve credit. After your stream. I said it. I said it to him. I said it on stream. I said it to him in DMs, bro. I'm telling you, you boys together are fucking great. I don't know how it happened, too. Because you two do not feel like players that should work together. You watch all my games back? Well, no, I was watching that because nobody else was streaming. So I wanted to keep it for posterity's sake so I can, like, watch it and, like, do a good rankings. Believe it or not, B4, I spend a lot of time on these rankings, okay, boy? I spend a lot of time on these fucking rankings, okay? I watch back all the games. I have a giant note sheet with like all the players on it. I take notes on everything, okay? Don't get it twisted. These rankings are these are some real ass rankings, okay? These are the most well-researched rankings. Aren't responding, it might be over. Yeah, no, you're cooked. Bro, the last time I saw Anby play, no offense to him, it was so bad, I told Dremmings, like, hey, I'll coach him. If you need Anby, like, if you need to give Anby if Anby needs some help, like, tell him to DM me. I'll help him. Oh shit, I'm kind of on a run right now. Before, I'm gonna pause this conversation. I'll be back. I'm kind of on a run right now. Oh, Jesus, I fucked it up. Well, that's going to be a 2-second time loss. I need to hit it. Fuck my life. Okay, never mind. I'm back. I threw super hard. On the very next level I threw. Well. Wait, it's happening right now? What the fuck? When's the first game happening? 8 p.m. Could you add sound effects one day? Snake is locked in. Snake Schroeder's good. He can't play offense, but he at least is not incompetent on defense, so shout out to him. Playing offense is a whole lot harder, but he can crouch, which is huge. I'm not gonna respond. Kissington just complained about being employed in fucking production chat. Do you think I'll win any awards? Bro, we are like fucking, we are so... I think... I can't say, bro. We're not even like, we're not even halfway through the season before. You gotta chill. You gotta focus on getting to the damn playoffs first, okay? Before you start talking about winning awards, boy. You think about getting to the playoffs first, then start thinking about awards, okay? What do you mean he can't play offense? He's playing forward today. Snake Schroeder, the last time I saw Snake Schroeder play, he did not play any offense, but he played good defense. Respectfully, it is actually kind of hard to play good offense. It's a difficult thing to do, to like actually put your shots in a good place. Shooting is not easy. So. But he was competent, and he knew where to put himself on the ice, which is like huge, honestly. The thing is, B4, you kind of play in a way where you kind of always assume that you're the best player on the ice. And for the most part, you're generally correct in that assumption. But sometimes you play like... You play really aggressively for no fucking reason sometimes. And I'm like, I get that, because you are the best player on the ice, so why not, like, fucking run it? But... if you're planning to ever play in, like, NOM or BHL, you're gonna get... It's gonna... reality's gonna fucking hit you in the face very hard. Playing threes fucking sucks, going from twos to threes. And it's a goalie, I know, but... It's so crazy playing goalies, like, in BHL scrims versus JBHL scrims, because, like, dude, all the shit that you think works as a goalie just doesn't. When you have people who can actually shoot, it's like, damn, alright, I see. I just fucking suck. It kind of exposes you to how much shit you can get away with in JBHL. We'll see how you perform before against the really good competition. Alright. Nutella Rain. I kind of want to tell you about this. You know, Nutella Rain, you're cool. I'm going to tell you. Sorry, I'm DMing somebody that's really funny. I don't know if you've been knowing about what's happening right now. Hold on, I might need to end stream early. Tell me what? Oh, sorry, there's the thing. Oh, yeah, okay, so... What? Okay, so what's happening in the fucking... in the Maze Runner event is that this fucking guy, I don't know if you know him, on Discord his name is Spoopy Wool. Spoopy Wool. Or I forget what his name in the event is. Fucking... Expert Duck. Yeah, that's his name in the event. Expert Duck. This fucking Expert Duck guy. So he DMs me, right? Expert Duck DMs me, like, out of the blue on, like, fucking Monday. And he's like, yo, do you want to assassinate Dante? And I said, what? And he said, yeah, I want to assassinate Dante. Do you want to help me? And the obvious answer to that question is yes, and then see what happens next, Nutella, okay? Because let's say that maybe he actually has a whole plan, and maybe I want to get involved. Then it's fun. I get to be part of an assassination. That's cool. So I always say yes, and then I keep my options open. Now, the plan for me, when I heard that, was like, I'm going to betray this guy, right? I said yes, I'm going to betray the fuck out of this guy. I'm telling Dante immediately, bro. All right, so that was my thought. So he tells me this shit. And then I get a message from fucking Sturb. Or Sturb, what's his name in game? Whatever the fuck his name is in game. Sturb or whatever the hell his name is. He DMs me and he says, yo, are you trying to assassinate Dante? And I said, what? I'm not trying to do that. What are you talking about? And then he sends me a message. He sends me a screenshot of the DMs I sent to this fucking expert duck guy, basically leading him on. He sends me screenshots of those DMs to me. And I'm like, yo, wait, he's trying to fucking back. He was trying to set me up. This guy was trying to set me the fuck up. And apparently this guy has been going around to like all of like the major members of like Dante's cabinet, all the people he's close with, a bunch of runners, maybe not a bunch of runners, but some of the runners, and basically asking the same thing. Like, are you like, yo, do you want to assassinate Dante? He's been trying to set everybody up. So we haven't told him this, and we're not going to tell him this until he experiences it. We're all going to jump his ass. All right, he's dead. That boy is first things first. Before the walls open, that boy dies. All right, and we're gonna jump his ass. So, and if they don't do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump his ass for them, cause ain't nobody sets me up. So, yes, that is what is gonna happen. He's trying to set everybody up. So, I wasn't DM'd. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know why he didn't DM you then, because apparently he DM'd a bunch of people. That's what I was told by Dante and the Sturb guy. Yeah, so he's telling me that this was all he's trying to not get me killed. He's like, no, dude, I'm trying to make sure you're not going to assassinate him, so then I can protect you. Yeah, that's Cat Boy, you're dead. If you're watching this stream, boy, you better run. You better run like your life depends on it, because I'm coming for that ass. You are fucking dead. I'm killing you. When they turn PvP on, I'm killing your ass, boy. It's not even a question. You're dead as hell. I'm coming for you, boy. I'm coming for your ass. You understand? I'm making it very fucking perfectly clear. Your ass is glass. I would also partake in this. By all means. I just want the guy dead. It'd be funny. I'm jumping him. He is not gonna make it. He will not make that day. Before I ever even enter the maze, before I think about mapping anything out, that guy dies first. First things first. Because I think they're turning on PvP, right? Like interglade PvP is gonna be turned on, yes? If I remember correctly, that's gonna be a thing. I think so, yeah, exactly. So he's dead. So shout out Expert Duck. You had a good run. You had an okay run. You're dead. It's on right now. Oh, we can hurt. No, I mean, can we do damage? Because every time I hit somebody from my glade, it doesn't do any damage. Can I do damage to people in my own glade? Yes, okay. Because last time I checked, I couldn't do that shit, but just not in the maze. Oh, that's probably why. Well, all right, Nutella Rain. If you see Expert Duck wandering around, I don't know where he logged out at. I don't know where his current location is, but first things first, he's dying. And it's got to happen quick, because I got stuff to do. But that boy needs to die. Deal damage. All right, yeah. He is very dead. I'm going to kill him in front of everybody, and then the moment that somebody says, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm going to say, talk to Dante, and then I'm running out into the maze. I'm gone. Talk to Dante. This was illegal. This action was approved by our leader. I'm balling up my fist just thinking about it. Somebody tried to set me up. Can you believe it, Nutella Rain? They tried to set me up. He tried to set me up. He leaked my DMs off. He leaked with zero pressure. Bro leaked with zero pressure. What are we talking about? I know you leaked my DMs. Don't fucking act coy with me. Trying to act like you trying to protect me, boy. Boy. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Do you see the name on your screen? You are not nearly good enough at PvP to not have me jump you. And I know for a fact you're in iron. And I'm in diamond. Alright, so trust. It was meant to happen. It was meant to happen. It was meant to happen. I want to sacrifice for Bloodwater. I don't know. I'm not trying to bait him anywhere. I'm just killing him off rip. Alright? First things first, I'm crit chaining him, and then I'm out. Alright? Nutella, I got a mace to run, okay? So, it's going to be a very efficient death, alright? I'm logging in, finding his location. Yo, are you Expert Duck? Yeah, I'm Expert Duck. Death. That's how it's going. Dirty fucking... Is that technically metagaming? Well, to be fair, what he was doing was technically metagaming, so who cares? If he's metagaming, I'm metagaming. We ball. Alright, gamers. I suck at this video game. I can't get past level 6 to save my life. So it might be time to call it a day. You know, plus 12, I've seen worse splits. Yes, I will do. I'll do exactly that, Nutella. Except I don't have an axe, so, or I have an iron axe, so I'm just gonna sword. I'm just gonna crit chain him with a sword. He'll go down relatively quick. Well, that split is awful. Well, gamers, I gotta go. Unfortunately, I think I have to cast. I'm leading this guy on. He's still my DM. He's like, are we okay? We're fine, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I told him, yeah, I'm cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. It's whatever. Don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about it, man. No, don't think about it. Don't think about it too hard. Hey, don't worry about it. That's me and my sword. Alright, gamers, I'm gonna be back. It's gonna be back on Saturday, and we're gonna be streaming early in the morning, baby. That's right. It's Civ event time. It's gonna be day 3 of Maze Runner Civilization. We're gonna kill a guy, and then we're gonna run a maze and probably kill a boss. And I'll probably put my Twitch in, like, the Twitch thing, so we'll see what happens. Either way, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun, but I've got to get out of here. I will talk to you gamers on Saturday. Peace. Bye.